Good morning and welcome to Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana. You are locked in live to ISC Sports Network's coverage of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament at Kokomo High School. Today's game brought to you by Ertl & Company Benefit Solutions. Log on to ertlandcompany.com to find out more. By the Kokomo Vipers, soccer is back in Kokomo. Catch the Vipers in 2024 and online now, KokomoVipersFC.com. By Coca-Cola of Kokomo, proud to keep the Cats hydrated both on the court and in the classroom. By Galitko and Daily Work Injury Lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com and IndyMalpractice.com. And by York Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. We're not number one, you are your number one at York. J.D. Arland, Pete Smith on the call. Hall of Famer Pete Smith, I should mention, on the call in this, the 7th game of the tournament and the semifinal round as Kokomo meets up with South Bend Riley. Coach, I know you've had a lot of experience meeting both of these teams. We just saw the starters introduced for South Bend Riley. What can you tell us as somebody that's coached against them?
Well, Coach Daniel is a veteran coach. We have two Muncie Central Bearcats coaching against each other. He was a Muncie Central Bearcat point guard at one time. But back to your question on Riley, definitely I think they and Penn are the two best teams in the Northern Indiana Conference this year. Played a really strong game yesterday. The score was deceiving. They won by 13. They led by as large a lead as 29 points. And they like to run fast. They like to play up tempo. But yesterday, Mishawaka slowed them down, and they still ran their half-court offense very well. They shot the ball well.
As you see the Kokomo starters introduce Bellamy, Beard, Rogers, Crowley, and Bedunga. Everybody knows that big number 40 jersey. And Pete, tell me, how is he going to make a big impact?
Well, he makes a huge impact. One change in the lineup, 15 is starting for the Cats. That's Barris Moore. Furley has been sick, Max Furley. He's just coming off a long-term injury, but he did start at the start of the year. And we may not see him today. He's still not really back into form, Coach Beckenpaugh said. Back to your question, you're looking at number 40, Flory Bedunga. Just a joy to watch play. Plays the game with a lot of passion and will be a big, big factor in this game if they win. If they lose, he's a big factor because he's not involved as much. We'll talk about that during the game.
Winner of this one on to the championship round, and we are underway. Riley, by the way, beat Mishawaka 62-49. Kokomo beat New Haven 81-49 to get here. And we are underway as there is Barris Moore, who you mentioned in the opening. Moore puts up the easy 2 and gets it. Kokomo strikes first for the second time in 2 days.
Glad I mentioned him as the starter. Yeah, he's a transfer in from Taylor High School and has put up big numbers out there. First year for the Cats.
A 3 ball goes off the mark and immediately rebounded there by Peyton Baird. Baird under some pressure, mixing it around, and South Bend Riley looking deep early, not trying to penetrate, but relying on their shooting.
They like to play downhill as much as they can. There's a ball screen at the top, and they like to go towards the basket, but they shot the ball really well. Marvin Schindler played a great game yesterday. Schindler
is good off glass, gets the friendly roll to knot it up 2-2 with 7 minutes to go, a minute off the clock, and we are all knotted up at Kokomo.
Schindler can make things happen defensively too, as he'll trap the ball a lot of times here. I expect that a lot today, particularly when Reese Beard has the ball.
Toss it down inside. It looks like it's out of bounds, and so it's heading back to the Wildcats. A miscue early on offense for Kokomo leads to a turnover.
Well, and if we had a chance to look at keys to the game here, turn them over. Riley, to have a great chance of winning, they've got to turn the Wildcats over. There we have a look at it. Their shot selection, as you just alluded to, in the first possession, and 50-50 balls. They've got to get on those loose balls and control them.
There's one block from Flory Badunga. He's going to make a big impact today. 10 blocks yesterday in their game against New Haven. 3 is off the mark there, immediately rebounded. Second offensive rebound for South Bend Riley, but then this one hits the deck and probably a jump ball. That's what they'll call. So it's going to stay down on that end. South Bend Riley, another chance at it. Checking into the game is Aiden Kent. He's wearing the 2 jersey.
Yeah, he played good minutes yesterday. There's the block by Badunga, and then Kent, a little skirmish. And go ahead.
Matched up with a Jayhawk. He steals it away. Badunga flips it back to the outside, and you can see Badunga trying to get in good position to make a play on offense, as he hasn't been as involved as I'm sure he'd like to be. Foul's on the floor. We'll see what they call. It's on Peyton Baird, his first, team first.
Riley goes about 6 to 7 players deep, in the game right away. We got Barber's going to be in here in just a minute. He played really good minutes off the bench.
Badunga taking it for himself, matched up 2-on-1. Good trap from the Wildcats. That is the South Bend Wildcats. Badunga off glass. Badunga finishes and one, count the bucket. Second team foul on the Cats. And check this out. Not a whole lot you can do when you've got a 6'10", 5-star recruit down low.
Well, you've got a good choice made by Reese Beard, too. He made that entry pass back in. If you notice, Riley is not guarding Reese Beard. They're doubling off him, something I actually talked to Coach Daniel about. I knew he was thinking about doing that. He's not going to guard Reese Beard. He said, if I'm going to get beat, Reese Beard's got to score a bunch of points because we're not going to guard him. Beard with a good job there, though, of getting the ball back into Badunga.
So he misses the extra bucket. 2 points for Badunga. It's 4-2 with 5:45. And now South Bend Riley slowing it down, trying the 2-point jumper, and an immediate rebound by Badunga. He's all over it, takes it up for himself. So important when you've got a center like that can handle the ball as well.
Gonna count it, yep.
Count that basket. Foul is on the shot. So for a second time, Flory Badunga makes a trip to the line. They'll call that foul on Aiden Kent. His second.
Little Euro step there, as you mentioned. There's a good look by Manny Hill there, but Badunga has improved so much since his sophomore year when he came to Kokomo. He can bring the ball down. He saw an open lane. Blocking foul. He's got a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. You don't have to shoot the 3 to make a 3.
That's right. 3 points the hard way. 40 puts it up and puts it down.
Another area he's really improved on. Shooting about 62% on the season from the free throw line. Used to be under 50% the first couple years.
Badunga has 5 of the Cats' 7 points. It's 7-2 with just over 5 to go. Here's Williams. And that bucket just a little bit too small. It seems like it's got a lid on it on that side of the floor.
Peyton Baird's got to get some touches. He's Riley's best player.
3-point shot is up and no good. That was Zion Bellamy who looked for range. Down the other end, interruption made by Badunga. Moore stole it away, back and forth, a little YMCA action. as we go back and forth, and this time it'll stay with the Riley Cats on their side of the floor.
Against most teams, South Bend Riley would like to run. Kokomo plays into that pretty well because they have a shot blocker and a rim protector there.
Baird kicks it out. Hill for three, got it.
Yeah, Manny Hill's a good three-point shooter. Peyton Baird with the assist there. Peyton Baird has got to get some looks, though, at the basket. He's their best player.
Riley back within 2, 7-5, 4.5 to go. Kokomo thinking about that outside shot, slowing it down. No shot clock again in high school basketball. 2-point shot is good for Bellamy. The long two-floater goes a long way, and the Cats increase their lead to 4.
Zion was in double figures yesterday, and when he scores, it's an added benefit. Sometimes, though, he's got to remember he's got a 6'9" All-American in the paint. Maybe not always take as quick a shot as he does, but he can really get on fire.
No foul called. It's just out of bounds. So inbounding is Riley. Takes it to Baird. Baird using that big frame to shoot and score over Carson Rogers. So that'll be a long 2 for him.
I think Peyton must have heard me. He's headed to Bethel University to play for Steve Draben next year. That's his first really touch in the offense other than an assist, and it pays off with a chance for a three-point play here. Carson Rogers was all over him. Can't play much better defense than that.
The foul did go against Rogers. Kokomo's first, and then you saw the easy shot up and in to make it a three-point play. 9-8. Kokomo still in front. Shot from the outside. Goes off the rim. A great offensive rebound. Toss it to Badunga in the paint all by himself. Man, he just makes that look easy as 40 puts it in. Nothing but net.
Well, he changed his shot in midair because I think he had a little contact there, but he played through the contact and made the basket.
7 points for Badunga of Kokomo's 11.
Yeah, bad spacing there. When Baird did the dribble drive to the elbow, the Riley guys didn't adjust his teammates to the spacing, so about a 2-foot pass leads to the travel.
Well, offensive miscue. Pete, is it hard to play? I say early in the morning. I'm sure many of our audience have been up for a couple hours, but when you've got guys that are used to playing at 7, 8 o'clock at night, what's the difference playing at 10 a.m.?
Well, you try to have some practices just so you can get them used to having some morning-type practices. For Kokomo, much easier, as you see Rogers with his first basket. Carson had a rough game yesterday. I was on that call. He gets more involved with Kokomo. They're pretty darn tough to beat.
Rogers, the 6'6" senior. Like you said, Pete, his first points of the day, and then down the other end, Jalen Barbara notches the 3 ball.
Yeah, Barbara had 5 in the first half yesterday off the bench.
So 3 minutes to go. We'll keep it right here. Kokomo in front, 13-11. And thank our friends over here at the Indy Card Exchange. Now for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling trading cards of all kinds. And they're refining the game of professional grading with consultation services to save you time and money. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information and see how you can make money off of your collection. You see Alex Daniel there in the huddle with the Riley Wildcats. Coach, what are you saying to them in his shoes?
Hey, we weathered the storm. We got down 7 really early. Now it's a 2-point game. They're going to have to live and die on the 3. They can't attack the rim. That's what New Haven did yesterday, and it played just awfully for the Bulldogs. But they're good 3-point shooters. Again, I'd like to get Peyton Baird more touches offensively. He's 1 for 1 from the field right now. But also you've got either Carson Rogers, who's a legit 6'5", and the 6'9" Badunga guarding him. So he's played very smart and hasn't forced a shot yet.
Peckinpah changing the strategy for the Cats as up and under goes Reese Beard for 2 points.
Well, to counter that, actually, Riley came out in the press that forced the issue, and Reese Beard did a great job of taking it to the rim there. That's one thing Reese can do. He's a great driver, not much of a scorer, but he can make a layup if you don't guard him.
Fortunately, the foul goes against Beard, Kokomo's second. And so throwing in will be Riley. Marvin Schindler had it, and it was stripped away. But now Riley gets a second chance. 2:48 to go here in this opening quarter, Game 7 of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Again, winner of this punches their ticket to the championship game, which will be on Mindy TV later tonight. That one's off the mark for Peyton Baird.
That's
out of bounds and back.
One of our keys
the
right
Cats.
there.
Yeah,
one of my keys right
balls.
there is we'll turn them over. Riley's going to try to make them feel a little bit of pressure and turn them over. When I say that, you got to turn Kokomo over, because if they get in the half court with the Badunga, they're so darn efficient and effective. So turn them over in the full court.
Good ball control from Riley. Doesn't feel out of hand at all. 15-11. There's Baird, fancy footwork, trying to go up over Badunga. Instead loses it. Down the other end is Barris Moore, can't finish. Foul call. Probably will go against Brandon Williams. And that's his first, team fourth.
Yeah. Good foul there by Brandon. Make him earn it at the line here.
Yeah, check this out, another look at it. Just got him on the swipe.
Yeah, not a lot there. You can see Coach Daniel not real thrilled with the call here, but you see he's got his body contact, draws the foul. Good job by our camera team there catching that. We'll have to show Coach Daniel that afterwards, but knocks down the first one there. Barris Moore, he's got 3.
His third bucket, make it 4. Riley takes over.
So again, last possession, JD, Peyton Baird probably going a little bit too much one-on-one. He can get away with that if you're not having a 6'10 guy guarding, your 6'9 guarding Badunga with another rebound after the missed shot.
Badunga just getting up there easily after the missed floater. They'll give Bellamy the green light to shoot again, and then Rogers finishes the job. Carson Rogers cleaning up the mess for his 4th point. It's 19-11.
Already playing better than he did the entire game yesterday. A good Carson Rogers makes them really tough.
Ooh, that one's off the top of the backboard, and then Rogers down the other end with a great rebound. So Rogers making his impact felt. Give it back to him. Just a little too strong. Got to get out of the gym on that one. A little under a minute and a half to go. Riley thinking about the 3 ball, matched up on Badunga, was Williams, and he gets stuck on the top of the basket. Take a look at that.
That is 2 in a row where Riley is trying to pick up the pace so fast and attack the rim, and Badunga's forced both balls to go over the backboard, trying to get it over him, and that we're in trouble there for a while. We got to get some kind of...
It might be up there all day.
Yeah. You're going to throw a ball off of it probably.
Thanks to our fabulous ISC Sports Network crew. Vince Morales, our lone camera operator, Jordan Shue in the truck. Memorial Gymnasium has that ball out of the way. Awesome job by the Kokomo athletic staff. The hospitality at this venue really just unmatched, and they get that ball down as well.
The thing we didn't allude to, they called a foul on the play. Badunga's got his first now. As you see, B.J. Williams go to the line. He makes the first. Better known as B.J., but he is officially Brandon Williams. But as I was talking to Coach, he likes to be called B.J., and Mansell Hill goes by Manny.
Yeah, I saw you say that, Mansell. I wrote that down. So he made them both. B.J. Williams. Checking into the game is Montreal Northern.
He's about their 8th guy. This is as deep as the Wildcats go. Good athlete.
Northern a 6'0 senior guard. Very athletic, 165. Here comes Reese Beard. Back on the other side, Rogers mixing it around. Barris Moore getting a little more involved. And downtown, Reese Beard, his 5th points. Cashes in from 3. It's 22-13, and the Cats are up by 9.
They're going to give him that shot because they're doubling off him, as I mentioned earlier, to pack it in on Flory Badunga.
Jalen Barbara trying the fancy footwork on Rogers. Nugget up top. Great ball movement. Try the shot from outside, wrapped up. If it's a jump ball, it's going to Kokomo.
I mentioned this on the air yesterday, JD. If I have one thing I can't wait to see Flory Badunga make the next step for, because he's going to have to, watch where he rebounds this ball in the replay. Brings it down, and at the Division I level, at that level like Kansas and the Power 5 school, he's got to learn to be able to keep that ball above his head and not let the guards double him up.
Flory committed to Coach Self and the Kansas Jayhawks. He'll be playing in Lawrence, Kansas next year. And this one's out of bounds off the miscue. Bellamy wasn't able to hang on to it. So quickly, Kokomo mounting this lead, already well over their scoring average for the first quarter of this season. Kokomo usually only scores 14. They have 22 already. Checking in for the Cats is that 15 jersey. That's Isaiah Packer.
Which Cats are we talking about here? The
That'd
Wildcats.
be the Riley Cats.
I bet you the Wildcats are going to win this game. But, yeah, South Bend Riley. Isaiah Packer, his dad's one of the assistants, comes in the ball game.
This first quarter winds down. Great athleticism. Kokomo's going to have a last chance shot. No dice. And take a look at the 40 jersey who made a big impact. Flory Badunga, Kansas commit at the end of this first quarter. Look at that block down the other end. Great defense leading to great offense. We'll see how it all shakes out in the second quarter. 22-13 here at Memorial Gymnasium. We'll be right back on ISC.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
We're back in Kokomo, and not the only time you'll see ISC Sports Network in the city of Kokomo, Indiana. This summer, we've got the Kokomo Vipers. The Kokomo Vipers debut this summer as the newest member of the UPSL, soccer at a high level, right in your backyard. Log on to KokomoVipersFC.com to find out more about Kokomo's new favorite team. Right now, Kokomo's favorite team is led by that 40 jersey and Flory Badunga, who leads 22-13. J.D. Arlen alongside Hall of Fame coach Pete Smith, and it's been all Kokomo Cats early in this one.
They've done a nice job of controlling tempo. When they've got a shot up, they've scored. You know, the turnover-wise, you know, they have 4 turnovers in that first quarter, and they're a team that if they cut the turnovers down, get Carson Rogers helping Badunga, they can really be a good team.
Kokomo shooting at a 64% clip. And Riley shooting at just 25%, but hey, why don't we flip the script on that as Baird puts in a nice 3.
Well, he had to step out because he's got Badunga guarding now, the best player on the floor for Riley.
Here they go, Kokomo. A lightning fast offense is now, they get Corbin Hamill in the mix, the New Haven transfer, who we saw play against his old school yesterday.
He had a really nice game. He had 4 threes yesterday for the Cats off the bench. Wildcats. Well, Kokomo Wildcats. Gonna be a
Cats
foul on
with a
the
K.
floor. Yeah, foul on the floor there.
And that one's gonna go against the man himself, Hamill, his first. Number 4 of the half for Kokomo. And so it'll just be a throw, and one more is gonna take Riley to the line.
Packer.
Wow. Catch and shoot. Isaiah Packer, his first 2.
Yeah, great pump fake to get Rogers to go for it, and he cleared himself open to what I call one dribble strong for a basket.
Bellamy has been quick on the outside in the baseline, but Bellamy's had a little trouble hanging on to it today. As Kokomo turns it over, that was Reese Beard who tried to pass Bellamy. Down the other end go the Riley Wildcats. Montreal Northern finishes the job, and there's a timeout on the floor as now Riley's within 2. Take another look.
Yeah, 6-0 run to start the quarter there. Northern on the steal. Actually, Barbera on the steal. Great job of giving it up. The bench has really helped Riley. All 3 of the guys off the bench are making big contributions and now have scored.
22-20, Kokomo in front, but just barely. As we take this water break with our friends, Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Coca-Cola Kokomo has been a part of the fabric of Howard County and North Central Indiana since 1907. Coca-Cola Kokomo is proud to keep the Wildcats hydrated on both the classroom and on the court.
So this isn't really a water break. This is a Coca-Cola break.
That's right.
Sponsored by the Severance family. Great people here.
Maybe some Dasani. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Dasani. We're listening to our producer, and yeah, Dasani is water too. You're right. But I think more of Coke. I'm not a water guy, quite frankly. You can tell by my body.
I like the diesel fuel as well. Back on the other end, there's Reese Beard. Kokomo trying to slow it down after a couple interruptions to their offense.
House. They got Manny Hill guarding Badunga, and they go right to him. What a great pass.
Double teamed. Kick it back out. Hamill can't finish. But that's why you've got a 6'10 center in there. Into the paint, Badunga loses it, gets it right back and puts it in.
Man-child. I mean, he did everything perfect there.
Yeah.
He gathered himself. He didn't force up a bad shot. He didn't go over the back on the rebound.
How about his just improvisation? His ability to break down the offense, and when everything seems to go wrong, still come up with 2 points and end that 6-0 run that the Riley Cats were on to start this quarter.
Doing a great job.
Now about 2 minutes in, Peyton Bear thought about it, miscue, tried to go over to Montreal Northern. That was a good play, just not exactly well executed.
Well, you look at it again, Badunga influenced that turnover because Baird can get away and get past people normally who he is having guard him. Badunga with the long range, and Northern just didn't know what to do. He was trying to get out of the way, and Baird threw it away.
Barris Moore and a Davion Young check in for Kokomo. Up near the top of the basket and blocked. Are they going to count it?
Yes.
So that'll be a goal attempt.
Yeah, definitely the ball was coming off the rim,
Oh,
backboard
wow.
rim, way above the rim there by Peyton Baird. Two guys are really high flyers, Carson Rogers and Peyton Baird.
Really cool replay there. Got to see the cone. That was awesome.
A lot of high school games aren't played above the rim. These two teams play above the rim.
Gonna try the shot. Northern almost tipped up and into the bucket, but instead goes back to Kokomo, 26-20. There's Rogers looking for more. Got it. Moore from downtown, a three-point bullseye to extend the Kokomo run. Now right back to a 9-point lead, and Kokomo is right back in this thing. Down the other end, Peyton Baird answers with the three of his own, and head coach Alex Daniel will stop play.
I really like Peyton Baird's game. That first quarter, he had an old-fashioned three-point play. He realized that I can't really take it to the rim there because of Badunga, and now he's had 2 threes since then.
During this timeout, we'd like to remind you about Hoosier Basketball Magazine, the new issue of Hoosier Basketball Magazine. It's being printed right now, so you can order now by calling or texting 317-925-8200. Again, 317-925-8200. Many of the state's outstanding seniors pictured on the front cover. I think that Kokomo number 40 will be front and center as well.
He is on the cover, and the late Gary Donna did a wonderful job organizing, getting Hoosier Basketball Magazine to be a staple in our great state and to learn the history of what's going to happen every year. And I know there's a lot of them. They're great collector's items available for people to buy online. I've seen them.
Just a quick reminder, housekeeping. We've got 6 games on the ISC Sports Network today, ending in that championship. If you stick around this morning, Pete and I will have the call of the next game. That is Jeffersonville taking on Mount Vernon. Two great teams that are going to compete for a spot to meet one of these squads in the championship tonight.
Riley's right now playing with 3 subs, 3 of their non-starters, and doing a good job hanging with them. They've all contributed, Northern, Packer, and Barbara. So full court pressure, they're 1 for 2. They gave up a layup to Reese Beard the first time they pressed. They forced a turnover the second time they pressed. Let's see what happens on the third time.
Pete, you mentioned the game being played above the rim. How about on both ends, too? Doesn't matter for Zion Bellamy, who charges all the way down coast to coast for an easy 2-point bucket, and using that speed finally pays off for Bellamy.
That's not what Coach Daniel wanted out of that timeout, and another turnover.
Here comes Rogers trying to do the same thing. Blocking foul, count the bucket. Carson Rogers will take a trip to the line to make it 3 points the hard way. Foul is called on Montreal Northern, his first.
Well, he's a super athlete. He got the continuation on it. The block was out in the front, but he was starting his motion in thoughts of the official. So Carson Rogers, who had a slow day yesterday, is off to a really good start here for him.
And he makes the easy trip to the line worth it.
So I'm not sure so far 0 for 2 on the press since the timeout. Actually, that was a turnover one, but
maybe not exactly what they want, as
right.
Kokomo's able to attack the rim with more players than just Badunga. Knocking it away. Peyton Baird gets it right back. Over to Barbara, back to Baird. Baird, a great shot fake, puts up the 3. You got to make those. And we'll see who it goes to. It goes to the home team.
I tell you, on that possession, Peyton was just a little bit too anxious to shoot it. I think a ball reversal would have got the defense maybe to give him a little bit more. He shook Badunga off on the ball fake and the pass, but then Carson Rogers contested that shot.
Coach Daniel changing the lineup. Aiden Kent, Marvin Schindler coming back in for Riley.
So Marvin Schindler can turn the ball over, and I say that he can defensively do that.
Kick it out. Here's Young. Trying the shot off the back foot. It's just a little short. No foul called.
He lost his balance there on the shot.
Just didn't get the spin he was looking for. Baird, the offensive general, had Kent under the rim. Instead kicks it wide to Schindler. No good. Whistle blows, and it's going back to Kokomo. 3.5 to go here in this first half. 34-23.
Second foul on Peyton Baird on that rebound foul. He is by far the only really big guy, and he's not a big guy. He's a wing player. He's going to be a great perimeter player at Bethel. So Riley falls back to a 2-3 zone after his second foul, hoping to keep him out of foul trouble.
Long range jumper, rebounded by Badunga, who's all over it. Triple team, kicks it out to Young, no. And then right away, Carson Rogers takes a hard foul as he almost got that off in time. It will be on the shot, so he'll take a trip to the line as Peyton Baird picks up his second foul.
No, this is his third foul. This was a bad foul because he wasn't even trying to foul on the play. He had fallen down, and regretfully, Rogers with a good offensive rebound, regretfully for Baird, he was just in the way of him. And that's 3 fouls on Peyton Baird. You know, they went to that 2-3 zone because of the second foul, and that was just an incidental foul, and that's a game changer right there, because I would think Coach Daniel's going to take him out. He is really discussing the foul, and Coach Peckinpah, by the way, goes out with a towel. Multi-talented coach. He can do it all.
He does it all. There at the bottom of your screen, the conversation persists between Daniel and the official.
B.J. Williams will come in for Baird. There's no way you can leave Peyton in with 3 fouls in the first half. And it's just really unfortunate. Hadn't shot the first free throw, so he's got to wait because it's a 2-shot foul.
Carson Rogers will be the one to take it. He's 1 for 1 from the line. Make it 2 for 2.
Yeah, give him a lot of credit because he could have just kind of stopped, but Baird was on the floor, and since he went up and Baird did make contact, Baird was charged with the foul. Tough break for the Riley Wildcats as they go down 12.
Off the mark on that one. 8 points for Carson Rogers. Here's Schindler trying to play that role that Baird has so often at the top of the key.
Well, now you have no one that can attack the rim with any size, so they're going to wait for a good perimeter 3-point look now. Kent on the drive. Great drive by Aiden Kent. Draws the second foul on Badunga.
And he tried to get up and in, and Badunga there with a great play, but yeah, check out the body movement of Kent. Trying to put that ball in the right spot, draws the foul, takes a trip to the line, and you know the easiest way to score points is when there's no one guarding the basket.
If you can shoot free throws, but yes. But 2 fouls now on Badunga. Looks like Coach Peckinpah is going to keep him in the game right now. No, he isn't. There he goes. I'm sorry, I didn't see Barker. Andrew Barker checking in. But so both teams' star players, per se, leading scorers, exit the contest here.
Andrew Barker, a 6'5" junior forward, checks in for Badunga.
So now you see who can play without your stars.
They'll try to go up, and playing the same role as Badunga, but just not the same size, was Barker.
Well, Andrew's a 6'5" junior, and he's given them some good minutes off the bench. They also have another 6'5" player, AP Mitchell, that can give them some nice inside play, but we'll see what they have changing-wise offense without the 6'9" point of emphasis in the post.
Rogers working on Kent. Slowing it down is Peckinpah's offense, especially with Bellamy in the game. Usually we see a streaking Bellamy near the baseline, and might have just started it there, but Kokomo holding on, up 10 points. Driving to the bucket is Carson Rogers, who's in double figures now at 10. Rogers really stepped up in this game compared to last. Whoa!
Schindler!
Off the back foot, Marvin Schindler down the other end.
2-point baskets on Schindler's list for Christmas. Great drive
You've just
there.
been waiting for that one.
All day yesterday I was waiting for that,
Yeah.
but he just kept draining threes yesterday.
2-point jumper off the mark. The foul called.
Barker. Over
Yeah,
the
that'll
back
be
or
on.
push in, yeah.
Andrew Barker is first. Team number 3.
Now you're Coach Daniel and you're South Bend Riley. You feel like you can attack the rim now, which Schindler just did the last possession. Look for them to drive the ball more. I'm trying to hear what Coach Daniel's saying offensive-wise, scheme-wise, if they're going to go 5 out and try to drive.
You can see the
set
strengthening
play.
of the Kokomo defense there around the arc because they know they're looking for that ideal shot. Inside was Barbara. They'll back out as Kent to Barbara. No good. Here's Bellamy, a dangerous player in transition. Bellamy behind the back, off glass. No, but Rogers says yes. And that's the second or third time that Carson Rogers has cleaned up the mess, and it's led to points.
Schindler all the way to the rim there, fouled there by Barris Moore, but I tell you, Marvin Schindler is so darn quick. I mean, you just blinked and he was down the floor, and the Wildcats were not ready for him to take it to the rim, so.
Moore's first, team 4th. And here's Schindler at the line. Gets the friendly roll on that, as checking in for Riley is Isaiah Packer, who moves Jalen Barbara to the bench.
Yeah, I'm not sure Coach liked Barber's last 3 right now. As you can see, they're trying to play downhill and go towards the rim now, and Barbara's settled for a 3 there. Packer, though, we know is a good outside shooter. Made his only shot he's taken so far coming in off the bench. Northern also checked in there for Riley.
Getting it back, great offensive rebound off of the miss.
Packer's shot.
Isaiah Packer. Catch and shoot, really quick hands for him, a fundamental guy. Almost losing it was Moore, got it to Rogers,
wow.
Tough foul.
Carson
and say that's
Rogers.
offensive.
He went down hard there. He just played with reckless abandon, trying to attack the rim. And great job by Manny Hill of taking the charge. Watch Hill come out, waiting for him clearly. Packer had actually stripped the ball from behind, had a back tap, but great job. And the Cats right now, Riley's Wildcats, they have a chance to cut the lead to 7 or 6 here. This is as close as they've been in a while. They were down 9 at the end of the first quarter.
So with that, it's the 5th team foul. It'll be 2 shots from here on out in this second quarter of play with just a minute to go. Carson Rogers, his 2nd, team 5th.
Barker out. AP Mitchell, a 6'5 senior, his first time in the lineup today for Kokomo.
Manny Hill slowing it down. Listen to Davis, who's calling a play, his head coach. Alex Daniel, the 4th-year head coach at Riley. There's Packer.
I don't like that matchup with Rogers guarding him. He's seeking
Packer.
the shot. Yep, got it.
Sinks it from 3.
I like that one. He came to a fade screen on that left wing, has cut to 6 now.
Well, you're right, Pete. It was risky, but it sure paid off for Riley. 39-30.
Another charge, yep.
Oh, another charge.
Isaiah Packer has just
Wow.
been great off the bench for Riley High School.
AP Mitchell.
Quickly, Young out, Reese Beard.
Zion Bellamy, was the one who picked up that
Yeah.
foul. Yeah, some roster changes as Kokomo tries to stop the bleed before halftime. Just 30 seconds to hang on, and it looks like Riley will try to hold on to it for as long as they can to get the good momentum that they need heading into halftime.
I'm laughing watching Coach Alex Dan. Oh, that was not
Stolen
the play
away.
he wanted. They never got communication.
Rogers near the bench.
Out of bounds, going to be Riley basketball.
Riley ball, 16 seconds to go, down 6. It's always scary to be an insistent coach in that situation.
Well, Coach Daniel was just such a passive coach. I've known him for a long time, former assistant in Bethel and IUSB, and now coaching at the high school ranks. But he's trying to get a specific play call. He wants Packer to get another shot up. Okay, it's going to be a pick and pock for Packer here on the left wing. Schindler's open, though.
Schindler for 3, no good. 2 seconds to go. Probably this will be the end. Maybe.
No.
It did not count.
No.
Unfortunately, did not count. So that will be the score at the half. Kokomo leads by 6, 39-33 over the South Bend Riley Wildcats. A trip to the championship in the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament on the line. We'll see how it all shakes out after halftime. We'll be right back here on the ISC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Our halftime show when we return.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away and he puts it away.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
We are back here at halftime. It's Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana, and the Kokomo Wildcats lead on their home floor by 6, 39-33. J.D. Arlen alongside Pete Smith here on the call. And Coach, a lot closer game for the Wildcats than yesterday.
We have some things really stick out. Kokomo shooting 53% from the field, yet only with a 6-point lead because of the fact they've made 9 turnovers. I tell you, the big difference was, I thought late in that second half, the third foul called on Peyton Baird, who leads them in scoring with 9, leads South Bend Riley. But at the same time, the next possession down, a great job. Riley attacked the basket, Aiden Kent, and drew the second foul on Floyd Badunga. Coach Peckinpah decided to take him out. They were up 12 points at the time. After that, Riley pretty much had their way. They attacked the rim. They saw some mismatches. Thank goodness for Carson Rogers. He leads the Cats in scoring with 14, but he really picked up the offensive slack when Badunga went out, but no one else really helped him, and that's why we have a great game here at halftime, only a 6-point lead by Kokomo.
Yeah, Floyd Badunga already has 2 fouls. That's why we didn't see him as much. Check in on the stats. Carson Rogers with 14, Bearsmore with 7, and Reese Spear with 5. Floyd Badunga, with 9. We should see more of him in the third quarter. On the other side, the top 2 on South Bend Riley, Isaiah Packer with 7 and Marvin Schindler with 5. Now, Pete, one thing I noticed looking at the box scores of Kokomo this season, their best quarter is the third quarter, usually scoring about 21 points a game, which is much higher than their average of 14 in the first and 15 in the fourth. What is it about these halftime adjustments that Kokomo does well, and how do you think they're going to come out in this game differently than we saw in the first half?
Badunga. I was going to try to spell Badunga, but I'm sorry, I didn't learn that in English.
B-I-D-U-N-G-A.
English guys, but he usually doesn't play the last 4 or 5 minutes of the second quarter, and that's when Kokomo always seems to let teams back in it. So they start out the third quarter pretty good because he's back right away. The other team kind of forgets about it. They go in the locker room thinking, okay, we really attacked the rim good at the end of the second quarter. Well, that's because normally Badunga's out. That's the case here. That's how they lost the 12-point lead down to 6 now. But they usually come out and play much better. You do a great job on those stats, how they score in the quarters, because that's something I used to look at and have assistants look at analytically, and that's a big point. Kokomo usually gets off to a good third quarter start. If they don't, that's not a good sign for Kokomo. And Riley, I'll tell you, they've got a lot of weapons. They've got a lot of balanced scoring. 7 players have scored for them right now. And actually 8, I'm sorry. Oh, 8 have played, is the words of Mark Boyle. 8 have played, 8 have scored. So they've got a lot of depth. They're playing really well. This is a great first half.
These two teams have only met one other time, and it was just as close as this. Back in 2014, Kokomo led 73-69. So nobody on either roster remembers that. Neither on
what year was
coaching
that?
staff. 2014.
Okay, I remember that game.
I'm sure you called it.
Shocking.
Yeah, but nobody out on the floor.
I was still coaching then.
As we move into talking about the Riley Wildcats, of course they did a great job of coming out here and kind of punching Kokomo in the mouth. How do you use Peyton Baird knowing that he has 3 fouls? How do you get him more involved on offense? Because it seemed like once he was out, that's when Kokomo was able to open the door back up and take another lead.
I'm going to flip it over. They had just went to zone to protect him when he got his 3rd foul, or his 2nd foul, and he picked up, unfortunately, a loose ball foul that shouldn't have happened. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'll be interested to see if Riley comes out and plays zone in the 3rd quarter, since he has 3 fouls, to keep him a little less prone to getting a 4th foul, because he's not guarding anyone individually, maybe not sliding over help side. So Riley may come out with 2-3 zone in the 3rd quarter. I'll be interested to see that. But offensively, he did a really good job in that 1st quarter, keeping them close. He drew Badunga out away from the basket a couple times and drained 3-pointers on him. But he learned also he can't take it to the rim. Floyd Badunga with 4 block shots in the first half.
39-33 as we take our second and final halftime break. On the other side of this, we will see how it shakes out. A trip to the championship of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament on the line, and that's decided in 16 minutes of play. We'll be right back on the ISC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
First half highlights here at Memorial Gymnasium, and anytime you see a Kokomo highlight reel, you're going to see number 40 has not missed a field goal. The only missed shot he's got is one from the line, and he's got 2 fouls. So of course we're going to see him a little bit more involved in this 3rd quarter than we saw him in the first half.
Yeah, and you see him going coast to coast here. The improvement he's made to be able to dribble the ball as well. You know, he kind of probes the defense, says, gosh, I can get in there with a Euro step. And so he's a ton of the highlights because he's must-see TV. There's a great shot, though, by Manny Hill, who he's played a great game so far defensively. Done a nice job trying to keep Badunga off the rim and offensive rebounds. Badunga only with 2 offensive rebounds. There was a good basket there by Peyton Baird, leading scorer with 9 for Riley. Badunga with a nice offensive tip back there. And again, he just cleared. Carson Rogers, arguably his best first half of the season. He's got 14 points and 5 rebounds on that putback. Reese Beard, the unsung hero of this Kokomo team, drains a 3. But again, Baird comes back and counters. And the game really changed when both leading scorers went out of the game. And that's when Rogers stepped up here. You're going to see him on the baseline with a great pass away to Young for a 3. Actually, Barris Moore for a 3. Then at the other end, Schindler, what a great athlete, makes a aerobatic pass, tries it again, or shot there, tries it again, and blocked there.
Pete, you mentioned Carson Rogers with 14 points, on pace to become the season-high individual scorer. That record right now is a guy by the name of Carson Rogers. He had 26 against Peru, on pace for 28 right now with 14 in the first half. As the final seconds tick off here at halftime, just 6 points separate these two teams. A packed house in the morning here at Kokomo Memorial Gymnasium. This place bleeds basketball, and just one day before the holiday season begins for many, and many signs of life here in Kokomo. Thank you so much for joining us. 16 minutes away as Enter Sandman welcomes in this third quarter.
Kokomo gets the ball first, both teams with their original starting lineups in. And again, watch the big key here if you're just joining us. Peyton Baird, number 0 for Riley with 3 fouls. He's going to sag it in right now on Rogers.
Three-pointer off the mark for Reese Beard. Him and Bellamy have great chemistry. They have for a couple of years now, those two growing as players, and good to see them on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, Bellamy only a junior too. He's got great senior year ahead of him. Quick travel there, yeah. Quick travel there by Aiden Kent.
Thought for a moment it was another foul on Badunga. That would have changed the course of this third quarter, but no, Aiden Kent one too many steps.
So real sagging man-to-man Riley. They're not going to guard Rogers too tight. They're going to sag in, and he'll be on the help side blockouts a lot of times.
Coach, you mentioned the defense might change for the Wildcats. Are you seeing that change that you mentioned at halftime?
I have not yet.
Blocked away. Peyton Baird stays clean, doesn't pick up a foul, gets a nice block. Nobody scored yet here in this third quarter. Baird on the other end, tipped away by Badunga. And Badunga hauls it in.
Nice save by Bellamy after the block shot too. Normally that goes out of bounds.
Badunga double teamed in the paint. Trying the shot is Barris Moore, who puts in his 6th point.
Actually 9 for Moore now.
Excuse me, yeah, 9
I'm just double
points.
checking my numbers.
Down the other end, they'll try the quick 3. Wildcats getting rid of it as Aiden Kent aired it out. And Barris Moore down the other end. Top of that key, not really throwing it inside. Kokomo.
There they are.
Trying to go to rely on their shooting because of how much post defense these Riley Wildcats are putting on them.
Yeah, quick double there by B.J. Williams.
Schindler off the mark.
Yeah, not a good shot. Just didn't have the good floor spacing there. Wow.
Here's a highlight reel. Badunga and 1. Catch and shoot, picks up the foul, takes a trip to the line, and that's vintage Flory right there.
I think he almost offensive goaltended the pass. I mean, I think the pass would have ended up in the cylinder if he wouldn't have blocked it himself.
Not usually something you have to worry about at the high school level. It's pin drop silent, by the way, here at Memorial Gymnasium as this guy shoots a free throw. All eyes on 40. He gets 3 points the hard way.
5-0 run to start the third quarter for Kokomo. So to your point at halftime, JD, Kokomo off to a good start. They normally outscore their opponents. Nice back screen there for Hill. Badunga influenced the shot even though he missed it, didn't block it. No doubt Hill makes that if he didn't feel Badunga coming on the backside.
Yeah, Manny Hill just took the shot a little too early. Fouls on the floor, it looks like, on Manny Hill.
It is, yeah. He's been with that arm bar a lot in the post and pretty much gotten away with it. He's kind of been adjusted to it. That time, though, he shoved him off the block, and Riley not ready yet.
We'll see what's going on. Technical foul.
Yeah.
Assessed to Alex Daniel.
That was really ugly here.
Uh-oh.
Let's just take a look at the replay here. That was really, really ugly what just happened. When I say that, I'm just talking in terms of basketball. Play was stopped. One referee gave Zion Bellamy the basketball, but play was stopped. Look at the bottom of your corner of your screen. Say he turned his head. He didn't realize that the baseline official had given him the ball.
Officials timeout on the floor as we see what's going on. Everybody's still on the floor.
Unfortunately, Coach Daniel, you can't see that, reacted kind of like my friend Fran McCaffrey. A little volcanic there, even though he was going to get the benefit of the doubt.
FranCon won.
By then it was too late. And so it's going to be a 2-shot technical foul, unfortunately. Kokomo will have the ball, but actually Coach Daniel had it all set. They were not going to give the easy basket. The one official recognized that he was asking about something, so time was not going to start, even though you saw Kokomo get the easy basket there. So
you can see the passion and intensity Indiana high school hoops.
Yeah, Alex Daniels being a Muncie boy, he's had passion for a long time of basketball in that crazy town of Muncie. The Bearcat pride. Now he's a Wildcat.
Zion Bellamy to shoot. 2 shots for Kokomo. Misses the first. Bellamy's had a pretty rough day.
He's got 4. He had a great game yesterday. Scored in double figures yesterday for the Cats. 5'8" junior.
And he makes that one. So 5 for Bellamy. As we return to regular play. Technical foul assist, but nobody ejected. Everybody's still here. Alex Daniel back on his home bench.
That was just an unfortunate, strange play because Kokomo had a layup. Somehow Coach Daniel got him to stop the play, but then he got upset and caused the technical there.
Top of the key. Here's Rogers. Spin and in.
What a game for him. 16 now for Carson Rogers. And the lead back up to 14. Riley still has not scored in this third quarter.
Right back to Kokomo. Barris Moore for 3.
Textbook fast break. Down the right side, got to that corner. Wide open jumper. Barris Moore has really played well these last couple weeks. Added addition to the Wildcats this year of Kokomo.
17 points separates these two squads. Kokomo finding their groove in this third quarter, much like we expected them to. South Bend Riley, meanwhile, has not scored in this third quarter.
Well, Kokomo's defense has really picked up on the perimeter. Everything's been a forced shot or a long shot.
Rogers, all by himself, playing the role that Flory usually does. And Flory's on the floor with him.
Yeah,
a very tall lineup. Here's Moore. Rogers tried, avoids the foul. Very good.
Aiden Kent, good job with the block out. Baird now that time was on Badunga. Look for Kokomo to go to Badunga next time down with Baird guarding him. Schindler with an ill-advised shot attempt at the rim. Just got too deep.
Out wide was Bellamy. Off his mark today. Corner 3.
That's
and
more
that
like
one goes in.
That's more like it.
Marvin Schindler.
Yeah, Marvin had good balance that time. He's a good spot-up shooter, Marvin Schindler. And he had really good balance on that. Had 4 threes yesterday in their win.
Here's Bellamy using that speed. Takes the extra step.
Great block out. Yep, great block out. They're going to call Flory Badunga for his 3rd foul. They had a double-team block out that time. B.J. Williams, along with Manny Hill, really did a nice job blocking out. And Badunga sometimes, most of the time he gets away with that because there's not contact, but look at him this time on the replay, reaching over. You got 2 guys blocking him out. Nice call by our officials. Unless you're a Kokomo fan.
Yeah. It's a 6'10" frame. It's difficult to use, and I feel like not a lot of people know how to position the body in a way that's not going to draw a foul when you're that big. Here's the 3 from the outside.
Nice play.
Right on the mark.
It was a set play for Manny Hill on the back screen. He faded to that right wing and was wide open. Isaiah Packer now, a good 3-point shooter, also in, along with Barbara. Going to be on the shot, and that's going to be 4 fouls on Peyton Barrett, I'm afraid. Yep.
It'll be on the 0 jersey. That is Beard.
Yeah.
Barrett has 4.
That's a big one there. Again,
staying in the game, though. It doesn't look like a sub's coming.
Well, he's got 2 free throws to think about it here. He's got 1 free throw to think about it.
3:17 to go. 50-39, Kokomo in front.
Well, they're going to have to really go small now. Northern's going to check in for Riley.
Montrell Northern out on the floor.
Now let's turn this around. The other thing they can do now, they've got 5 really quick defensive players in the game, Riley. Let's see if they may pick up with some pressure there.
The full court press didn't work for him too well in the first half, but in the later going, as players are more cautious with fouls, that might change. So throwing in for the Wildcats will be Manny Hill. Nope, just kidding. It'll be Carson Rogers for Kokomo.
Oh, even Flory Badunga thought it was off him.
I thought it was off him too.
Uh-oh.
Here's Badunga, up and fouled on his way to the rim. That's on Aiden Kent, his third. Number 4 for Riley. So only one more foul, and that'll send him to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, 14 foul here with 3:11 to go in the third quarter. So they've earned the penalty shots as Badunga's kind of hot and cold at the line. Shot him really well yesterday. That's 3 in a row he's missed.
Unfortunately, yes. Nothing's better than a big man that can shoot. And there's Badunga, who rolls in the second. 51-39 down the other end, trying to cherry pick it off and blocked away from Badunga. Isaiah Packer tried. Rogers almost picked it off that time. And now Reese Beard collects.
Yeah, the Badunga factor on defense caused that exchange of turnovers and catastrophes.
A rare Flory 3 doesn't go. I think the roof would have blown off this place had that gone in.
You know, he's got to take that shot occasionally. It was a good time to do it. They're up 12. If he nails it, like you said, the roof comes off this place.
Montreal Northern. Over to Isaiah Packer and Manny Hill.
Yeah, it's a flare screen again, what he scored on 2 possessions ago.
Here's Reese Beard down the other end. Fast break points. And that's that Zion Bellamy Reese Beard hookup that goes so well as Rogers threw into that one that time. Take another look.
Yeah, great outlet pass by Carson Rogers.
Up and in.
Beard can make layups. That is his strength. He runs the floor well. He doesn't usually take bad shots, and he makes layups if you don't guard him.
This timeout with 2:21 to go, brought to you by the Kokomo Vipers. The Vipers debut in 2024 as the newest members of the UPSL. Soccer at a high level right in your backyard. Log on to KokomoVipersFC.com to find out more about Kokomo's new favorite team. Memorial Gymnasium, Kokomo up 53-39 in this, the semifinal round of Game 7 of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. And Pete, it's been a tale of 2 halves as Kokomo really came out to the races in this third quarter. It looks like a completely different Kokomo team than the one we saw struggle in the second frame of play.
Absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head at halftime with your assessment that you've done the numbers. Kokomo usually outscores teams big in the third quarter. They usually come out very prepared. Badunga's usually not in foul trouble. He still isn't here yet. He only has 2. He hasn't picked up 1. Meanwhile, Peyton Baird, Riley's best player. Does Badunga have 3?
3.
That's right, he does have 3. They attacked the rim one time. Best player has 4 fouls, and he is currently on the bench. So we've got an outside shooting team right in here now. Isaiah Packer is a good 3-point shooter. They just ran a 3-point shot for Manny Hill. They just can't attack the rim right now with Badunga in there.
And it's difficult.
Nice.
When you've got a guy like that, but trying to fake him out. Badunga was all over it. Gives it off to the very fast Reese Beard. Badunga down the other end. Can't set up a double team fast enough. And when you go one-on-one with the #1 big man in the country, that's going to happen, unfortunately.
Cats ran their lane really well there, the fast break lanes, and that opened up Badunga on the inside.
55-39. A nice job avoiding the foul was Manny Hill, who backed off a bit right at the end. Hill not there to make the offensive play. And Kokomo going really fast. Carson Rogers, 2-handed jam. Kokomo really finding their stride. Under a minute and a half to go in this third quarter. 57-39, and Carson Rogers having one of the best games of his career.
Yeah, he's playing well. Whoa, there's the shot Kent just passed up. Aiden Kent a little bit ago to try to drive to the rim and miss a shot. Good 3-pointer there by Aiden Kent. He's got 5.
Kent did a good job of finding the open lane to take that shot as well. Set up that offense quickly. Flory, 2 points.
Nice right hand there by Badunga. Got on that right block and didn't come back with his left. He went with his right to protect it. Nothing Kent can do defensively there.
Here's Montreal Northern. Over to Barbara. Barber matched up with Moore, trying the long three, doesn't go. Offensive rebound, maybe almost a kickball, but they won't call it. A very fast Zion Bellamy throws it up to Badunga. Watch your head.
It just wears you down. You're always having to be aware of Badunga's at. And when the Cats can play fast and not turn it over, they are really, really good in transition.
Seems like those plays happen quite frequently, and they have certainly today. Here's Kent. Kick it back out to Packer.
Short,
and that'll do it for the third frame of play. 61-42, 8 minutes to go in this one. A trip to the championship of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament on the line, and you're locked in live on the ISC Sports Network. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Final quarter of play after this.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
The Dunkometer is at 20. They should call it the Badunga meter. Kokomo really finding their mark, 61-42. Today's game brought to you in part by the Indy Card Exchange. Now for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying, selling, and trading cards of all kinds. And they're refining the game of professional grading with consultation services to save you time and money. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information. See how you can make money off of your collection. 8 minutes to go. Pete, looking pretty dark for the Wildcats of South Bend Riley, who didn't really get anything going in that third quarter.
Well, Kokomo had an 11-0 run there in the third quarter after the technical foul by Coach Daniel. Not sure that's the reason why, but Kokomo really got it running. They outscored them 22-9 in the third quarter. Badunga he's 4 blocks away from his 6th triple-double. He's got 6 block shots. He's already got 12 rebounds. And going into this quarter, he's got 19 points.
Triple-double watch.
Oh, boy.
He got one yesterday as well. He got it with blocks, though. 10 blocks.
Yeah, Northern's going to take. Northern was in the wrong place and at the wrong time.
Unfortunately, the second.
You just can't make those turnovers. A positive thing for Kokomo in that third quarter, the other reason, 1 turnover the entire quarter. They had 9 at halftime. Get shots up, you got a chance of getting a rebound, too.
Now I'd expect him to slow it down a bit. Most of their starters still in. Barris Moore.
Yeah, not high enough.
Kicking it up to Rogers. Gets his own rebound. Rogers eventually gets it.
Say, Carson Rogers looks like a different player today compared to yesterday. He's got 20 points.
Yeah, that's 20 for him. So 8 away from a season high for any Cat this season. And that'll be Flory Badunga's 4th foul. Oh, no.
Yeah, the back official called it on the baseline. The outer official didn't see it. As you see, Flory pleading his case. Here's the replay there, and
that's close.
I thought I could see a foul maybe calling on Barris Moore. I did not see it on Flory. He's got 4 fouls. He's going to take a seat for a while.
So some other Wildcats with a K going to see the floor as the first one is off the mark for Manny Hill.
And Manny can't make him pay on that one.
Checking in is AP Mitchell, player out of Kentucky. Came to Kokomo. So number 35 checks in, and he'll play center for the foreseeable future.
Oh boy, Carson Rogers missed a block out there, but Riley couldn't capitalize on it.
Beard, Bellamy, back to Moore. And Moore slowing things down. Calling for it in the post is AP Mitchell.
We know Rogers almost is better in that post. Darn it, Mitchell's really good, but Rogers dominated the post while he was in there for Badunga in the second quarter.
Saved it, maybe.
Yeah.
Timeout call. Sean Peckinpah not thrilled with his Kokomo Wildcats as Mitchell lost control of it. It's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay with you. And thank our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Coca-Cola Kokomo has been a part of the fabric of Howard County and North Central Indiana since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo is proud to keep the Wildcats hydrated both in the classroom and on the court. The Peckinpah's team taking a water break there, and despite the big lead, the 21-point lead for Kokomo, Peckinpah still not happy with the miscue.
Well, there's still plenty of time in this ball game, and that was not the execution he wanted on that play. Excuse me, he was trying to get the ball to AP Mitchell in the block, and Mitchell didn't really do much of a strong post up. As I was saying, Rogers is pretty good in the post too.
Up top, Mitchell. Not as much coverage as they usually put on Batunga. And I think offensive foul's called.
It's a rebounding foul over the back on Mitchell. When he missed the first one, he went a little bit too aggressive. Manny Hill, again, has done a great job blocking out for the entire game. Draws the foul on Mitchell.
His first, team second of the quarter. Peyton Baird.
Well, here's the double-edged sword now. Baird's back in with 4. Badunga's out with 4 fouls. Peyton Baird missed most of that third quarter with 4 fouls for the game.
Baird's such a weapon from beyond the arc.
He just made a steal, too.
Here's the fast break, blocked away by Rogers, so Kokomo has another second. Baird trying to go up a
Reese
hard
Beard went down hard.
foul. Man, Reese Beards did some acrobatics to try to get up there and block it. Looks like he's okay. That's a tough guy right there.
Oh, outstanding football player for the Wildcats, too.
Wow,
Reese
yeah,
Beard.
here's another look.
Oh, right on. That's going to leave a bruise. Tomorrow. Maybe today,
Put
too.
the
He's
feet
shaking
up
the
over
left
the holiday
arm, too.
season.
As he's coming out, he's shaking his left arm. I'm sure he came down that elbow a little bit.
Yeah, so check it in for him. Will be that 4 jersey. That's Corbin Hamill. Here's Manny Hill. Hamill on the rebound. Tough full court defense. And a foul is called on Marvin Schindler. His first, if I have that right.
Yeah, he was the difference yesterday in that Mishawaka game. He played really good defense. He caused a couple steals. He started doubling. You're going to see him do that more. For Riley's sake, that's only his first foul because he's really good at pressuring the ball.
63-45.
Davian Young checks in for the Wildcats. Corbin Hamill out, the sophomore guard, transferred in from New Haven.
Carson Rogers. Kokomo outscoring South Bend Riley 22-9 last quarter, by the way. Pretty standard, pretty much par for the course for the K Wildcats. Bellamy over to Rogers, off the mark, great offensive rebound. Spin it in, Carson Rogers has 22.
Done a great job today offensively. Schindler.
Fancy. Marvin Schindler goes up and uses the glass. Saved at the last second, and flying into the Riley bench was Rogers. And then a good foul to prevent the easy 2-pointer. That was on Barris Moore, his third, excuse me.
Barris also was on the turnover too. Made a bad pass on the inbound, so.
14 fouls for Kokomo, 1 more is going to send Riley to the line. And Pete, I'm sure you talked about this just about every game you do on ISC, but your thoughts on the new rule of 5 fouls, meaning 2 shots instead of the 1-on-1.
I like it. I think I like the 2-shot foul, the penalty. I do. I believe that's good.
No more 1-on-1. Similar to women's college basketball with the 4-quarter system and those 5 fouls resetting after each quarter.
Corbin Hamill back in after a little talking from Coach Peckinpah.
Bellamy finally able to get something going. He's been such an impact player, not necessarily offensively, but just running that scheme that Peckinpah preaches as up and under goes Marcel Hill on the other side.
Yeah, Bellamy under his average. He averages over 90 games. So far, he's only got 7 today, actually. Missed a free throw.
Full timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. Kokomo up 17, 67-50. You're watching the ISC Sports Network with about 5 minutes to go in game number 7. Turn to experienced lawyers for help at Galitco and Daly PC. Our passionate goal is to bring the power of the law to meet the needs of the injured and those who have suffered medical harm. Learn more at indianaworkers.com and indymalpractice.com. Back here at Kokomo, 67-50, a commanding 17-point lead for the home Wildcats as they look for a championship ticket in their home tournament.
Trying to punch their ticket to the night's game, yeah. You know, you never feel safe with Kokomo leads, though, just because their guards sometimes get a little erratic on decision making. And you don't have Badunga in the game. You have no rim protector.
Badunga with 4 fouls.
There's a foul there, though, that time. B.J. Hill, or B.J. Williams, excuse me. Manny Hill tried for the foul almost. Didn't get it, got away with it, but B.J. Williams with a foul, his second.
Number 2 for Williams. Team second of the quarter, so it would just be a throw-in. Carson Rogers. A.P. Mitchell off the mark.
Got behind the backboard on that shot. That makes it a really
probably,
tough shot to shoot.
Probably difficult for Mitchell.
Give it back to him. Give it back to him. There you go.
Probably difficult for Mitchell to play in this offensive scheme, especially when defense is set up for Badunga, knowing that they're going to double team in the post, and then Mitchell's got to come in cold and handle that like he's been playing all game.
Just made a nice block, though, at the defensive end. There's Hamill.
Mitchell. Foul on the floor. I'm not sure who it's on.
It's going to be Peyton Baird's fifth foul.
That's his fifth. He's out. It is. So Peyton Baird is done for the day. Take a look. Rim protection. Mitchell.
Now Kokomo's got the luxury of bringing guys in and up, 6'5" or bigger. Here Badunga comes back in at 6'9". He's going to finish it out. So Baird fouls out with 5 fouls and 12 points. Badunga enters the game with 4 fouls.
Flory back out there. Peyton Baird heading to the sideline, but a little bit of confusion on the floor. Pete, can you give us some insight of what's going on?
Yeah, Baird thought he was still in the game. He didn't realize he had 5 fouls.
I see. And now he's out.
At least they're sure acting like it. Yeah, he has 5 fouls.
By my count, he's got 5.
We had him 5. The scoreboard says 5, but Baird wasn't really sure he had 5.
Blocked out.
Yeah.
Try again.
Fake a pass to make a pass. Good job by Packer deflecting the pass. If Hamill just fakes to that left wing, he's got that pass pretty easy.
Badunga drives inside. Off the mark was Moore. Back the other way we go with 4 minutes on the clock. A really fast Marvin Schindler. Just couldn't finish that one as Carson Rogers picks up the rebound. How about the full court press? The Wildcats of South Bend Riley not giving up quite yet. There's Zion Bellamy waking up and shooting the 3 ball. Bellamy has been a rim attacker today. Really hasn't had much luck from the outside, but how about that?
A great drive by Zion. He's in double figures now, isn't he? Got 9 or 10. He got 10 now.
10 points over his average. That's his average is 9 points, so good to see him back in the groove. Bellamy running that offense. Gonna put up another floater. Oh, just an inch shorter, and that would have gone in. Schindler takes it for himself from the free throw line, and Badunga picks up a rebound. Pete, I know we were on triple-double watch. That's got to inch him closer.
Well, he's already got the rebounds and he's got the points. It's just the block shots now for a triple-double.
3-point ball. Barris, Moore.
Yeah, it's looking grim now for him. They're actually, Coach Daniels going to his bench. We've got some subs going to check in, but
2:47 to go. Chucking up some threes. That was Manny Hill. Foul call. That'll probably go against B.J. Williams. No, excuse me. It'll go against Kokomo's number 4. That is Corbin Hamill, his second. Checking into the game for Riley, the 11 jersey, Jaden Stamps. We also see Tion Wadley, LaPere Gross, and Jalen Barbara all checking in. For Kokomo, Flory Badunga comes out, and Andrew Barker comes in. So getting Barker a little more experience with 2:41 left.
Yeah, Wildcat reserves in there. Jalen Packer's their best offensive threat in there now, along with Jalen Barbara. And Isaiah Packer, excuse me. Otherwise, pretty much role players, go off the bench, play some JV minutes. Riley had him going for a while, but the foul troubles on Baird really caught up with him. That and after the technical, they just never really got in the groove. Mitchell with the rebound is going to stay possession to Kokomo.
AP Mitchell got up there, pulled it down for a moment before it went out of bounds. Corbin Hamill to throw in. Barker back to Hamill. A good trap. The Cats able to break it. Triple teams in the paint. Hamill makes the interruption. Wide open three for Packer, who chooses instead to take two and cash in. Isaiah Packer has been a pleasant surprise for the Riley Wildcats today.
Yeah, 9 points off the bench. He's played more minutes tonight, or this afternoon. This is afternoon now.
I have no idea.
Than he did yesterday.
There's some points for AP Mitchell. The putback.
Yeah, this game's going to end up with a larger spread. It's a lot closer game than what it's going to appear to the fan looking at the scoreboard on John Harrell's website.
75-52, minute and a half to go. Kick it out wide. Bellamy almost there for the interruption. Bellamy laying down and wide open for three was Isaiah Packer. Why not? 2 more points for Gross. 75-54 as Kokomo slows things down. Chad Peckinpah calls the timeout.
Just for subs, he wants to get a couple more guys in the game.
That is Max Werley.
And the Kokomo cheerleaders think that they have a chance to do a
Davion
chant.
Young. I don't think they're eligible to play in this game.
No, they're not.
Mitchell to throw in. Here's Corbin Hamill. 1 minute even on the clock. Hamill off the right hand and in. Kokomo not giving up yet. Put an exclamation point on this win. And Davion Young finishes that fast break as the clock keeps rolling. In high school ball, the clock doesn't stop after each made basket with a minute to go. Hamill tried the dunk.
Oh,
Didn't get the dunk.
They're going to call intentional foul, but I can tell you Isaiah Packer just was trying to hustle back and get in front of the ball, but he made some contact there. He didn't expect Hamill's left leg to come out when he was trying to go up and dunk it. Just unfortunate. I liked how Isaiah right away went over and apologized to the Hamill kid, but it was very unfortunate it happened. All good. Luckily, Hamill did not get hurt.
So it was intentional, flagrant. Yeah, just a tough situation. A lot of speed, too. Hard to put on the air brakes, if you will. Hamill makes that one. I'm sure not the 2 points he wanted.
He had a great game yesterday, off the bench yesterday for the Cats against his old school, New Haven. Got them both.
81-54. And that is the 5th team foul, by the way, for Riley. So not that we will see a lot of fouls, but the anything, take 2 shots at the line. Andrew Barker.
They're just going to hold it. Riley's not going to put any defensive pressure. I think we're going to see 81-54 as our final here, JD.
81-54 will be the final score most likely. As the championship title card is halfway set. Kokomo will host and play in the championship round of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Pete, your quick thoughts on this one as Kokomo really showing their depth and showing that they're more than just Florey's team.
Well, it was a lot better game than what the final score. Kokomo outscored them 42-21 in the second half. And again, I think the technical just seemed to turn the tide when Riley picked up that technical early in the third quarter, mid-third quarter. A really nice win for Kokomo. They did what they had to do. Only 10 turnovers. That's less than their average on the season. That's a good thing. You know, in scoring, you want your average to be more. In turnovers, you want it less. So only 10 turnovers, actually 12, I'm sorry. 12 turnovers by the Wildcats for the game. Right about a little bit lower than average.
4 Cats finish in double figures, including that guy, Florian Bajunga, finishes with 19 as Kokomo wins it 81-54. Coming up on the ISC Sports Network at about 12:45, we'll have more action for you. Mount Vernon takes on Jeffersonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on ISC. Thanks for joining us this morning in Kokomo.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
I've got a map, an Indiana map. What the hell it is this place? And this Judson. It'll be on your plan. And it lives Ridgeville or whatever on 42. That's the way it turned to go. Right, we're here. Yeah. So I had a truck driver go come. I called him he pulled in and said that he was late because he went to the wrong floor in Indiana. And I said, what are you talking about? He was telling me where he was at, and I went in and looked on my map I had hanging in my office. So I got there and whatever. You know what the capital of Indiana is, right? Oregon. There you go. I didn't know that for a long time. I think I can still name all the capitals in Oregon. Is that right? My dad was a good teacher. I didn't go to secondary. I didn't know. I didn't go to secondary. I know. It would do you a hell of a lot more good than calculus.
Welcome back to Memorial Gymnasium. It's Game 8 of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. You are locked in live to ISC's coverage of the semifinal round. Winner of this game goes to meet Kokomo tonight. Jeffersonville at 4-2, taking on Mount Vernon at 5-2. Today's game brought to you by Erdl & Company Benefit Solutions. Log on to erdlandcompany.com to find out more. J.D. Arlen Hall of Fame coach Pete Smith on the call. Our second game today, and coach, we saw a great one against Kokomo and South Bend Riley to begin the morning.
We did. It was much closer than the score. 6-point game at halftime with Kokomo leading, and really Riley having all the momentum. And the second half, Kokomo got off to a great start, and Riley just really struggled putting the points on the board. They only scored 22 points the second half, and Kokomo advances in the first semifinal game to play in tonight's final.
You can catch that game on MyIndy TV. That is channel 23 if you're in the Indianapolis DMA. As we beat the other side of the bracket, either Jeffersonville or Mount Vernon, we'll meet them later tonight. First up, it's, I believe we're going to start off with Jeffersonville. We meet the starters, Trey Singleton, Jeremy Rose, Michael Cooper, PJ Douglas, and Sean Boyd make up that starting lineup. A very talented and a very tall Red Devil team, Pete.
Yeah, they've got good size. We're in the Road Reds today. Great place to play. I got a chance to coach several games in, I think it's called Hilton Coliseum or something to that extent. Beautiful gymnasium.
Trey Singleton is the one you want to keep your eye on. He's wearing 0. He's a forward center, a junior, standing at 6'8", the tallest one on that roster. Move it over to Mount Vernon. Our friends who watch on 9-Star Connect are no stranger to this team. Mount Vernon, made up of Elijah Para, Julian Smith, Aiden Daughtry, Brady Fitzgerald, and Tanner Teschendorf. Mount Vernon coming into this, proving a lot of people wrong there. Starting quarterback Luke Erdl, hurt during football season, usually contributes during basketball season as well. We're told he's going to return in mid-January, but Mount Vernon defying expectations and beating a Plainfield team who is ranked 20th in the coaches poll to get here.
A very young team, and with Luke being out for a while, they've kind of had to try to find their own identity, which they have. They've had some really good players step up. Julian Smith had a great game yesterday. He had 25 points, number 13. Look for him to actually try to get off to a good start again, but a really promising program that Coach Joe Bradburn, in his first year at the helm of the Marauders, has taken and trying to develop into a higher program. Keys to the game real quick of this game. Big one, I think, as we start. Let's go ahead and get the tip first. There you go. Second chance opportunities. Mount Vernon's got to have a few putbacks for them to be in this game. Tempo of the game, Mount Vernon's going to play very slow, particularly until Erdl comes back. And value the rock. Every possession counts. Teams that make the most turnovers in this game particularly are going to have a tough time because both teams are very balanced when it comes to that. But this Jeffersonville team certainly passes the eye test, JD. I mean, they look very, very strong on the court physically. Good size, as you mentioned, for Coach Sharon Wilkerson.
Jeffersonville will start off with the ball early. And check this out. Here's Trey Singleton all by himself, tries the roll. If at first you don't succeed, try again. PJ Douglas finishes the job.
Second chance points. Number one key right now, Jeffersonville. 3 shots on the first possession.
Jeffersonville stands at 4-2, coached by Sharon Wilkerson, the 1993 Indiana Mr. Basketball. He's in his second year at Jeffersonville. A former Indiana University star, played under head coach Bobby Knight.
Okay, so they started in a half-court trap, and now they're falling back into a 2-3 zone. Just trying to get their, probably moving, getting their team moving a little bit this early in the afternoon as we start this game, and it causes a turnover.
Brady Fitzgerald tried to go over the top. Instead, it's intercepted, and the friendly roll went to Jeremy Rose. So 4-0, Red Devils lead early in this one. Timeout on the Mount Vernon bench. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here.
Yeah, 15 points yesterday for Rose. He was tied for the league or the game scoring mark with Michael Cooper for the Red Devils.
Like to thank our friend Perry Kitchen of Approved Mortgage. You may know Perry Kitchen from his days on an MLS pitch. Today, his pitch is this: finding you the absolute best deal for your mortgage. Contact Perry and Approved Mortgage today, 317-509-0929. Approved Mortgage is Central Indiana's oldest locally owned and operated firm. Perry, ready to help you find your dream home today. Again, 317-509-0929.
Good look at Joe Bradburn. Called a quick timeout as this team, again, a young team, and right away Jeffersonville hits them with 2 offensive rebounds and a putback, and then a forced turnover at the offensive end. Didn't get a shot up. So Joe coached a lot of basketball, over 300 wins in the state of Indiana, and he also served some years at Cecina as an assistant coach.
His 25th year as a head coach, yeah. The three-point shot falls for Elijah Pera. That's exactly what head coach Bradburn, I'm sure, wanted out of that timeout.
That was a great, well, that's what they gave him, and he did a great job of drilling it.
Rose tossed it to the corner. Sean Boyd was kind of pinned down there for a moment. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with Jeffersonville.
Yeah, physically they are so much, they just look more physical just passing the eye test. Mount Vernon in a zone is going to be a matchup. Appears to be a 2-1-2, but it's a matchup to where the offense is and causes a turnover.
Mount Vernon gets the turnover, tries to cash in from deep, but a little too quick off the hand. And so back the other way we go. Here's P.J. Douglas, and he'll be called for the offensive.
Yeah, good job defensively there. Waiting for the charge was Aiden Doherty. He drew the charge. Got himself away from the rim and stepped in front of the basketball. Another turnover.
His first, team's first. These two teams have not met in the past. Last outing, the last time these two teams played was yesterday, of course. Both in the winner's bracket still. Jefferson defeating Warren Central 64-59. Mount Vernon with a nail-biter in overtime. They beat Plainfield 68-62. Teschendorf down on the other side, got the assist to Elijah Pera, who cashes in from 3 again. He's got all 6 of Mount Vernon's points.
Yeah, they found him on the skip pass there. Yeah, baseline should be open against this matchup. The question is, do you have a baseline player that can do something with it? Good hands by the Marauders defensively. So both teams playing zone. We've been seeing most of this tournament man-to-man. Coach Wilkerson calls a quick 30-second timeout to talk about how to attack that matchup zone.
This timeout with 5 minutes and 20 seconds brought to you by the Indy Card Exchange. Now for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling trading cards of all kinds. And they're refining the game of professional grading with consultation services to save you time and money. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information and to see how you can make more money off of your collection. 6-4, Mount Vernon showing their prowess from deep early. Jeffersonville choosing a more balanced attack, trying to get it into the post.
Well, Coach Wilkerson hopes this timeout helps them like Coach Bradburn. They were down 4-zip when they called timeout, and they're on a 6-0 run here as we return to action. See if they switch up the zone a little bit just to make Jeffersonville do something different. Yeah, they're playing man-to-man defense now out of the timeout. That is a Joe Bradburn trait. He mixes up defenses very well. If there's a timeout, he's going to flip it and run a different defense after that, because normally the coach talks about how to attack the defense they were in.
On the outside, here's Jeremy Rose. Gave it off to Michael Cooper. Cooper from deep. Kokomo Airport open for business. The third made 3 between these two squads already.
1-3-1 half-quarter trap. Mount Vernon's getting close to 10. They do break the press and break the 10-second line.
Very slow moving as another attempt from the hot hand of Elijah Pera. This one doesn't fall. 7-6, about 4.5 to go as Jeremy Rose comes up to lead the offense. Singleton gets it inside to Douglas, who's got 4 now.
Nice look. Douglas led him in scoring yesterday with 17 points. 4 double-figure scores for the Jeffersonville Red Devils yesterday in their opening round victory.
And that press
staying in the 1-3-1
difficult.
half-court trap and causes a turnover. Tried to skip the pass over.
Teschendorf just a little too strong, as checking in for the Marauders is Armani Wells.
Yeah, Checking in was for Para, who has all 6 of their points. So no one has scored yet for the Marauders. It's on the floor halfway through the first quarter, but they do have 6.
There's Michael Cooper.
Back to the zone now, back to the 2-3 zone.
He signals in Scooter Stewart, who's new to the lineup for this Red Devil offense. It's tipped out and away by Aiden Daughtry. And in for the Red Devils is Ray Laird. A lot of substitutions being made early by Sharon Wilkerson.
Yeah, he goes pretty deep, but he's got basically 4 main scorers that score all the points, as I mentioned. 4 double-figure scores yesterday. Now Mount Vernon back to man-to-man. It's going to be a moving screen there on Douglas. He was actually just trying to cut through, but as he was trying to cut through, he set kind of a brush screen. Brush screens are not allowed.
P.J. Douglas, his team second. P.J. Douglas has 4 points and 2 fouls. Most of the volume of the scoreboard made up of his play. Trey Singleton checks in wearing the 0 jersey, the 6'8" forward. And a pretty low-scoring game as both offenses trying to figure each other out.
Jeffersonville goes to man-to-man. This is their first time in man-to-man defensively.
Teschendorf back out to Daughtry. Tries to go off glass, but gets an unfriendly roll. Down on the other end, Jeffersonville moving quick. Getting his own rebound was Cooper, and then stolen away. Two-handed slam, Teschendorf down on the other end, the fast break transition. And he's the first Marauder to score that's not named Elijah Para.
Yeah, it was a really good steal out. Offensive rebound, Jeffersonville's got 4 of them already here halfway through the first quarter, but that one didn't work out as they threw the ball away from the rim. I always try to tell my guys that sideways is fine, but never throw it back towards the opponent's basket on an offensive rebound because it just gives the defense a chance to shoot the gap, and that's what happened there. 2-3 zone again, matchup, 2-3 zone. Singleton not moving very much, so that's why they're just kind of stagnant there. Going to switch wings there and see if that can get him a movement. There's the
calling a new play. Yeah, there's Caleb Jones.
X-cut to Singleton. Should get it right in front of the rim and score. Good call there. Good patience by the Red Devils. Got the high-low look on the X-cut. X-cut meaning they cross to both fill the high post and the low post. Easy bucket there by Trey Singleton. His first basket of the game.
Trey Singleton, by the way, 1.6 points per shot. So that is really efficient on the offensive end. 3-point ball falls for Armani Wells. And that is the third made 3 for the Marauders, who tie it at 11 with a little over 2 minutes to go.
Each team has 4 players now in the scoring column, so good balance here in the low-scoring game, rather compared to the first one we saw. The Kokomo game. Kokomo had 19, just like that, before you could blink.
Slow and steady is this Red Devil offense.
Well, this 2-3 zone, tempo is one of the keys. This is the second key, and this has helped Mount Vernon stay in the game with them, they believe, because
Stewart shot blocked.
Just taking Jeffersonville out of their flow.
And another steal for Teschendorf. Passes it off this time. Off the glass, no!
Wells had it right in front of the rim. I thought he was going to dunk it. That's a charge.
Got it to Cooper, who charged in. And so that'll be an offensive foul on him. Team's third, his first.
Aiden Doherty doing the little things. He hasn't scored yet, but great job of taking a charge there. He got in front of the basketball, stayed in front of it. Another turnover. That's 2 charges Jeffersonville's had. Those are just like turnovers, lost possessions. Value of the basketball.
This is a very young team for Mount Vernon, starting 4 sophomores and 1 junior. There's 1 lone senior on the squad. That's Brady Fitzgerald, who we haven't seen much of today, as they put in 2 more.
Julian Smith. Nice baseline drive for Julian. He led him in scoring yesterday with 25.
Jeremy Rose trying to call a play. You see that motion, that X offense, like you mentioned. Takes a while to set up. Good horizontal pass.
Yeah, going to be a foul called on Wells. Blocking foul. He didn't quite get to the baseline.
Armani Wells, a 6'6" sophomore. As into the game comes Riker Bear. For Mount Vernon, for Jeffersonville, Sean Boyd back in the lineup. He'll throw in. 52 seconds left here in this blazing fast first quarter of play, 13-11. It flies by.
That was we called that power play, that out of bounds play where you tried to bully your way to the strong side block, and Mount Vernon did a good job in that man-to-man defense, which they're now in the half-court playing.
Boyd skips it on the baseline,
Yep.
stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
Good call by the official. Our officiating crew, by the way, Casey Gaynor, Corey Furman, and Dion Smith. So throwing in will be Pera, who's back in this lineup. Made 2 threes early to set Mount Vernon up well.
Jeffersonville back to man half court. They played about the first 4 minutes in the 1-3-1 half court trap.
Pulling it down.
They want to get the tempo going. You can hear Coach Wilkerson, go,
And
go,
Fresh
go.
Under the
Yep.
basket, Ray Laird, he gets 2.
Yeah, tempo right now has been controlled by Mount Vernon. That's the first time Jeffersonville really played downhill and got their transition game going here.
And Pete, the Marauders usually score only about 6.5 points in the first quarter. They're already double that. So off to a really quick start is Mount Vernon, as the foul was called there.
Well, they played very efficiently on offense so far. When they've got good looks, they've knocked them down. Got to double team the point guard. Full court man-to-man pressure, not guarding the ball out of bounds. They'd like someone else to get the ball in their hands.
That last foul, by the way, on Anthony Fresh, his first, team 4th.
Double team, traveled, got away with it.
Trying to go downhill. That's the end of the quarter. Doesn't get closer than that. A new game when we come back, 13-13 after 1 frame. You're watching the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament on the ISC Sports Network, and we'll be right back. We're back here at Kokomo, and a reminder, Erdl & Company is a locally owned health insurance broker. They partner with Indiana businesses to control medical insurance costs. Their physician-led team travels directly to your business with the mission of delivering preventative care, chronic disease management, and weight management. Contact Erdl & Company today, 317-577-2777 for a free consultation. They can get started now helping your group save money and increase profits. JD Arlen, Pete Smith here at Memorial Gymnasium. It is semifinal game 2, winner of this one to meet Kokomo later on in this Phil Cox Memorial Tournament. And Pete, it doesn't get much closer than that. What did you really like from Mount Vernon, who's been kind of the underdog this tournament?
Well, they've controlled the tempo of the game, which they like. They've not let Jeffersonville get in a running type of game. But the Jeffersonville Red Devils, despite shooting 54%, have turned it over 7 times, which is why it's a tie game at 13. And there at the other end, bingo, Julian Smith has his second basket of the contest right out of the quarter break.
A quick shot up for Jeffersonville as well, Anthony Fresh. So it's 16-15 and a much quicker tempo in these 8 minutes, as expected, as these teams figure each other out. Riker Bear off the mark. Looked good coming off of his hand, but just a little wide. Trey Singleton bringing it up the floor, calling for the ball at the top of the key, and you'll see him look to his coach for the play. Go ahead.
The 2-3 zones really negated anything Singleton can do. He's been playing in the high post a lot, hasn't got a lot of touches. 2 in a row for him, missed.
It'll be an offensive rebound, though, as Anthony Fresh grabs onto it. Fresh fighting, looking for something. Great hands from Jeremy Rose. Back over to Singleton.
There he is.
Got the friendly roll.
He's got 4 now. Again, this zone just limits his touches. So good offensive rebounds. Second chance points, one of our keys to the game. Jeffersonville now with 6 offensive rebounds.
Trey Singleton has played in all but 6 seconds of this game. Out there for much of the contest all season. And he gets the steal. Here's Jeremy Rose.
Oh, bad pass.
Yeah, trying to set it up. That 2-3 zone,
Yeah.
seemingly
It's clogged up.
impenetrable.
Yeah, it's clogged up right in the middle. You can't throw it in there. That's why Singleton's not getting any touches.
Great defensive rebounding from the Red Devils. Kick it out wide. Sean Boyd off of the screen from Laird. Chooses instead to give it to Singleton. Really unselfish basketball from these Red Devils. As checking back in is Michael Cooper for Jeffersonville. Back in for Mount Vernon is Teschendorf, who had that nice steal and dunk combo earlier.
Mount Vernon's going to stay in the zone underneath. They've been playing man-to-man underneath, but they're going to stay in the zone this time. Just really slowed the game down from the Jeffersonville point of view and how they like to play, but for Mount Vernon, it's played right into their hands, only down 3. One and done. Straight man-to-man defense for Jeffersonville now.
Down on the other end.
Oh, got him on the shot. Going to be a 2-shot foul.
Foul called on Ray Laird, his first.
We haven't called Elijah Parra's name for a while. He opened the game with a pair of threes and had all 6 of Mount Vernon's points. Went to the bench for a little bit, and now he's back at the line here to increase his scoring numbers and see if he can cut into this lead.
Waiting at the scorer's table for Jeffersonville. It's Elijah Cheeks, as well as P.J. Douglas. They check in as Ray Laird and Sean Boyd check out. 18-16, Jeffersonville still in front. About 5.5 to go here in this first half. Made that one. So within one, very close game, back and forth ball. Jeremy Rose trying to set something up, and
they're going to try to get it to Singleton now because of the fact that, well, they're not curl cut. Mount Vernon went back to man-to-man defense. Travel.
Douglas travels. Yeah. And what can you do, Pete, to try to break that 2-3 zone?
Well, making the outside shots would help, but the one time they did a really good job, they did a high-low, an X-cut, and they found Singleton down low. But Mount Vernon's played it very well, but that time they went back to man-to-man, the Marauders did, and forced the turnover that way.
Full court press. They back off rather quickly. High-intensity basketball in this semifinal contest. Teschendorf eventually found Julian Smith.
He likes that matchup, Julian does. He cleared his teammate away. He knew he had the size advantage on his opponent and cleared him away there. There's too much right there for Elijah Cheeks, who was guarding him there.
And Cheeks unable to work on him. As this one goes out of bounds. Jeremy Rose lost his balance. So Mount Vernon will throw in as it was off the Red Devils. I like that matchup as well.
Yeah. It was off and smacks it right off of his head, and he was on the line when he gained control of the basketball. Full court pressure now. See if they double or not. Nope, it's going to be a straight single man full court pressure. Pretty nice Singleton putting good pressure at 6'8".
Monty Wells,
yeah.
Who comes off the bench, by the way. And it's off of Mount Vernon. So just a miscommunication there between Wells and Teschendorf.
You know, this is like a chess game right now, JD. They are switching defenses up possession by possession. Marauders now, but it's caused both teams never to get into a comfort zone and run their regular offense. There's Singleton on the block.
He has 6 now.
Good recognition by the Red Devils, knowing that he had the mismatch against the man defense.
Elijah Parra over there. Teschendorf is trapped. Thought about trying to go to the rim, but good defense from Trey Singleton. Jeremy Rose in the middle there as well. And Mount Vernon,
well, they look like
both teams trying to force each other to take those outside shots, and that can be really difficult under pressure, especially on a neutral site.
Boy, that was close to a 5-second violation on the dribbler. Didn't really clear the defense there, but Mount Vernon's just really taken out by this Red Devils aggressive man-to-man defense. They found the good patience by Mount Vernon. They found the matchup they liked again, and with Julian Smith being guarded by Cheeks.
So this will be a foul on Cheeks.
Yeah, I think
his first.
Yeah. Coach Wilkerson understands that matchup. I think he's going to get Cheeks out of there.
Yeah, and checking in with a little more size is Ray Laird. Laird, a 6'4", 195-pound junior, as a timeout is called. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it with him. 3:43 left in this first half. Jeffersonville leads by 1. We'll be right back on ISC.
Got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away.
Joe Bradburn in year 1 at Mount Vernon, starting off 5-2. Pete, you mentioned in the opening of the show, he's 306 and 236 all time. That's over 25 years, a quarter century coaching basketball. Joe Bradburn certainly knows what he's doing for these Marauders.
He's been at some programs that are not traditionally strong and done a really solid job. His first head coaching job was at Cowan High School in the same county he grew up in. Coaches a Wapahani Raider, and then went to Yorktown, where I got to coach against him there. Took Yorktown to the state championship game in 3A 1 year. Moved on to some different schools. He most recently was at Greenwood. He's been at DeKalb. And now I think he's going to make stakes here at Mount Vernon. They've got a great group of young kids, and Joe's a fundamentally sound coach and can win. He can win.
Here comes Mount Vernon a little bit faster, but how about the Trey Singleton defense? Get your hands up, and he certainly listened.
I really like the 6A junior. He's played within himself this game, that's for sure.
Plays his role well.
Nice.
Teschendorf, really tough.
Well, he never got doubled. I think he was waiting for the double team from someone from Jeffersonville, and they stayed in single coverage. See, Singleton likes to, bracket on Singleton, he likes to fade to that corner. There's a high-low look right there.
He's wide open at the top of the key, calling for it. It gets knotted up. It's a jump ball, and it'll stay on this side. Mount Vernon with a 1-point lead. Just the second time they've led. First time was very, very early on. Mount Vernon digging themselves
They're going
out
to call
of trouble.
Singleton. That was that bulldozer play.
Uh-oh.
And he went too far with it. He should have stopped on the block, but as Corey Furman, with the officials saying, you took the guy out of bounds. You just kind of railroaded him or blasted him. We called it a blast all the way out of bounds there. So offensive foul on Trey, his first.
And team number 3 of this quarter. A full court press still in full effect for the Red Devils. Ray Laird working on Julian Smith, who had some success against Elijah Cheeks moments ago. Teschendorf tried to get the tip, didn't go. Wells off the back foot, no gain.
Yeah, he got bumped a little bit, and not a lot of contact, but enough for the thin Wells to lose his balance on that shot. He'll fill out someday. Only a sophomore.
Here's Michael Cooper. Jeremy Rose looking for an opening. Great defensive coverage by Elijah Pera, who stuck right with him.
They were looking for an isolation for Singleton. That's what Rose was trying to get cleared out. Offensive foul. It's going to be an offensive screen on Ray Laird. Had his arms out like he was a pulling tackle in football.
A little too cold to play like that.
Pulling guard, actually.
Checking in for Jeffersonville is Sean Boyd. In for the Marauders is Aiden Daughtry, one of the starting lineup, and he'll come in for Elijah Pera. No, excuse me, Elijah Pera on the throw-in. Smith matched up with Singleton. A switch.
Backdoor. There it was. Nice.
Teschendorf off
And
glass. Count the basket and more. Tanner Teschendorf using every inch of that 6'2" frame to get up there and make it good off glass.
Double screen on the weak side, clears the help side for the back door. A fake at the elbow, goes up, goes down. Nice timing to that play call by the Marauders and Coach Joe Bradburn.
And how about that look from beyond the backboard. Really cool GoPro that we've got back on that camera today. Shout out to our crew, Jordan Shue on camera, Vince Morales in the truck. Just two guys holding it down. Mount Vernon up by 3, 23-20. 5 fouls for Jeffersonville, so the next violation, they'll send Mount Vernon to the line.
See, Singleton needs to battle more in the post right now. He's just kind of letting the defender push him off the block. Good job by Aiden Doherty if you can get away with it. He just kept pushing him, and Doherty came down a little gimpy there on the rebound. He's going to take a break when there's a dead ball.
Para. Sean Boyd with nice hands. Red Devils trying to make him take the shot from out wide instead of charging in, weary of what Teschendorf can do with an uncapped lane. Teschendorf almost got the rebound. Instead, it'll be a turnover. Michael Cooper with a lot of speed blinking. He's down the other end. Gives it off to Singleton.
Short.
Long two jumper. Got it.
Got it. I thought it was short when he first shot it, but he saw the mismatch a little bit. Aiden Doherty needs to get out of the game because of that injury, but we haven't had a dead ball yet. I don't think Coach Bradburn wants to call a timeout just to get him out, but he's a little gimpy right now.
Only one timeout off the board.
Seeker play, good steal. Nice read there defensively. Douglas.
And the foul will probably go against Elijah Para, which would be his first. The team's first of the quarter. It will. Checking in for Mount Vernon, the 21 jersey, Brady Fitzgerald. And Elijah Cheeks checks back in for the Red Devils.
Not a bad shot there, not a bad shot there by Para to try to shoot the gap. He just got his feet tangled up, so that forced the foul. Otherwise, he didn't smack him or hack him or anything like that.
No Julian Smith in the game, which could be why we see Elijah Cheeks again. Oh no, he's there with a different matchup. That's Jeremy Rose.
He's kind of hidden. You
top.
can't see him.
Yeah.
Rose, a big, strong young man there for a point guard.
A different matchup. Some coaching decisions already with only 38 seconds to go in this second period of play. Again, the winner of this one moves on to play Kokomo tonight on MyNDTV 23. Catch that right here or on the TV station.
Just the timing, just a little bit off there. Jeffersonville ran a really nice out-of-bounds play, but the back screen was set too early. The pass wasn't there yet to be made.
Jeremy Rose tries to go behind the back. Instead goes to Armani Wells. Slowing it down, probably holding for the final shot, are the Marauders, who cling to a 1-point lead.
He took 10 seconds. I saw
That's
Casey
tough.
Gaynor. I saw him counting that, so it wasn't like it blindsided him, and he just took too long to get the ball across the 10-second line. I understand being patient, but the first thing, I'm just saying you should tell your point guard, okay, get it across and then get ourselves
set. And then
set.
be patient, right.
There's one thing about walking it up, but that was like slothing it up. We have another Marauder banged up there. Elijah Para's out, so a couple starters out on this last defensive possession for Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon does have a foul to give. If they'd like to give a foul, they could give a foul, not let Jeffersonville shoot it.
5 seconds to go in the half. Good off glass is Michael Cooper, and that'll do it. Trying the full court heave to no avail. Jeffersonville leads by 1, 24-23. A very even matchup, and we will break it all down for you on the other side of this break. It's halftime. We'll be right back on the ISC Sports Network as Jeffersonville leads by 1.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X,
Isn't it
podcast,
X now?
whatever it is. Just call it whatever you
Twitter
want.
doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Oh, there we go, baby. Oh, my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Go. Lock in. Takes it in. Little energy. Out the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. He does. Still going. Throws it up, and Hooks will throw it down.
life is on the go, now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
We are back here at Memorial Gymnasium. It is halftime. 24-23 is the Jeffersonville lead. And we'd like to thank our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Coca-Cola would like to welcome all of our guests to Howard County this holiday weekend. Coca-Cola Kokomo has been enriching the lives of residents of North Central Indiana since 1907. Coca-Cola of Kokomo, a proud partner with 26 schools to make sure students stay hydrated in the classroom and on the field of play. Find out more at cckokomo.com. JD Arlen, Pete Smith on the call. And Pete, a very back and forth half, but I think the most notable thing that happened in the latter quarter of play were the injuries. We saw a gimpy Elijah Para. We saw Julian Smith take a walk to the bench. It seems like this already inexperienced Mount Vernon team is going to really have to search for depth if those two are out in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, they've only had 4 players score to that point, JD, and yeah, a couple guys getting banged up at the end. They had a patchwork kind of lineup there at the end of the contest, and you know, the last possession, coach was yelling at him to foul. He wanted to foul before they got a shot off. Mount Vernon got the last shot and scored, and that's why they lead. But interesting contest. Rebounding-wise, I said second chance points was going to be a big advantage. You know, Jeffersonville has 16 rebounds to only 7 for Mount Vernon, but Jeffersonville's committed 11 turnovers. I think Coach Bradburn has done a good job having a chess match in regards to calling defense and getting Mount Vernon or getting Jeffersonville to be a little sped up at times. But on the other hand of that, Singleton finally got going, only had 2 points in the first quarter. He's the leading scorer with Jeffersonville with 8. Now I'll let you take those guys down.
11 defensive rebounds to the 16 total rebounds that Jeffersonville has. So I think on the opposite side, I think Jeffersonville has been doing a great job when the offense breaks down and when that ball is loose of trying to make a plan and slow things down. It's a well-coached team. They have big basketball IQs, and you can see how experienced they are because it seems like they're not getting flustered very easily. Meanwhile, Mount Vernon, some flashy plays. You can't deny that.
They're not shooting the ball very well. They're shooting at 41% for the game. They're 9-22 from the field. They were 4-10 that second quarter. So they're getting some decent-looking shots, but so far they haven't hit it, and yet they've hung in there. They're only down 1 point. I thought they were going to go in with the lead at halftime. They had the 10-second violation, walking the ball up the floor, and that's just a head scratcher when you're as a point guard not knowing that, okay, I've got 6, 7. We all have biological time clocks in our head. Biological maybe? Okay, time clocks. And you got to get that ball across, and that was just a bad change of possession turnover. Even though it was a dead ball turnover, gave Jeffersonville a chance to take the lead at halftime, and they said thank you.
And actually Jeffersonville with 11 total turnovers. They turned the ball over more than Mount Vernon, but some of the more costly and notable turnovers have come from the home team today of Mount Vernon. So of course, Pete, as we look forward to the rest of the day, how do you think these two teams will complement Kokomo? Who do you think has a better shot at a championship game with Kokomo?
Well, from the standpoint of who Kokomo would rather play, I mean, Jeffersonville matches up size-wise much better, and they have a little advantage size-wise. We got some strong young men out here, so the physicalness would be checkmarked by the Red Devils. But Mount Vernon on this other side of the basketball, part of their struggle, Julian Smith has 6 points. That's great. He had 25 yesterday in their big win yesterday. So, he's got to get started here. They've done a good job limiting his touches. He is 3 of 7 from the field. Also yesterday, big score for him was Para. He got the first 2 baskets of the game, both 3-pointers. He leads them with 8 points, but they need a lot more scoring. As you alluded to when we started this, only 4 Marauders have scored, and they had a couple dinged up as they went to the locker room at halftime.
4 Marauders have scored, 6 Red Devils have scored. That is Trey Singleton with 8, Jeremy Rose with 2, Michael Cooper with 2, Anthony Fresh with 5, Elijah Cheeks with 3, and PJ Douglas is a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor with 4 points. Meanwhile, like Pete mentioned, Mount Vernon only 4 players having scored. Elijah Parra with 8, Julian Smith with 6, Tanner Teschendorf with 6 as well, and Armani Wells with 3. A low-scoring defensive game, very different from the first outing that we saw. Pete, kind of watching film for this and watching what Mount Vernon did late that propelled them to that win over Plainfield and allowed them to stay cool-headed during the overtime period yesterday. What do you think it is about this Mount Vernon team that allows them to stay in it even though they lack experience and sometimes they lack effectiveness at basic things like even getting the ball over?
They are very talented, but they're very young, so you're going to have up and down times with that. And again, we mentioned the glue of this team, sadly, is not playing, that being the Ertl boy, Blake Ertl. Is it Blake? Is that his brother? I get him mixed up. He had an older brother that was a whale of a player. But the Ertl boy, when he gets back off the injury from football, will really solidify.
Luke Ertl.
This one is Luke.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Luke Ertl. So that'll really help their team when they're back. So they're going to play up and down until he gets back, but they are very talented. And this year is only going to make them better. They only have 1 senior, you said earlier, and that's why they have their ups and downs. But there's talent. You see some of the athletic plays they have and have made. They're going to be pretty good.
We will see how it all shakes out. The final 16 minutes of play on the other side of this break. It's halftime. The Red Devils lead 24-23. Winner of this game going to the championship. We'll find out who that is coming up on the ISC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away and he puts it away.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Oh, there we go, baby. Oh, my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Still goes. Back in. Takes it in. Little energy. Not the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. He's up. Still going. Throws it up, and Hooks will throw it down.
We are back at Memorial Gymnasium. I'd like to remind you, the new issue of the Hoosier Basketball Magazine is currently being printed, so you can order now by texting or calling. Get ready for this number, 317-925-8200.
8200. I have it memorized.
You got it, 317-925-8200. You should have it memorized just like Pete does. The state's outstanding seniors pictured on the front cover, and that is always a good read and a great gift this holiday season.
I have it memorized because all the years I had to fill out the questionnaire for Kip, and he always was, how about the questionnaire? So I just call him. I like talking to Kip Wes. He was super. Back door, not there.
Back to the action. Looks like everybody who we thought might be injured for Mount Vernon is still out there. So playing through some of the hobbling injuries that we saw a little bit earlier, and they're back to their original starting lineup as well, as that shot's off the mark.
Oh, bad defense. Let them get all the rim. Luckily, they got away with it.
Tanner Teschendorf kicks it over to Para, and another turnover.
Young mistakes, young mistakes. Talented. They're getting down the floor fast. They're doing everything right. Just bad judgment sometimes. Poor judgment.
Cooper went to Douglas, who went off glass to no avail. Kick it back out to Jeremy Rose.
His first behind the line today. He's got 5.
His second made field goal for Rose. That one jersey has played a lot today's game. 13 minutes of the opening 16. Jeffersonville expanding its lead to 4 points.
Okay, they got a mismatch here. Mount Vernon's going to try to get the ball to Julian Smith. He's got a strength and size advantage. They're just going to clear it out, and he's going to score it.
Smith
Missed
working
it, though.
on Boyd.
Tried to score it.
Gave it his best shot. Boyd a little different than Elijah Cheeks, who they had matched up with him earlier, so many Red Devils getting the chance to guard Julian Smith today. And that one goes in.
P.J. Douglas with his 3rd basket of the contest, and a quick timeout called by Mount Vernon. Not liking what they're doing to start out with Joe Brandberg, so he's going to talk to him, and we're going to look right inside the Jeffersonville huddle.
We will stick it right here. We'll keep it right here as we go through this 30-second timeout. And yeah, you can see head coach Sharon Wilkerson talking to his guys and trying to get that matchup ironed out. You saw Cheeks, you saw how Douglas did it, you saw how Boyd did it. Who would you try to put on Julian Smith, because he is such a dynamic threat for the Marauders?
That's, you know, I'm not in practice every day. Obviously, he thinks, I think the nice matchup would be Jeremy Rose, their point guard. He's got the bulk and strength, and it seems like that's what's kind of bothered Mount Vernon a little bit, size-wise, is they're not really attacking as much. They rotated in Scooter Stewart. I can't imagine Scooter Stewart guarding him. So, you know, if you're not sure, you may end up going to a zone. They're going to go to 1-3-1 half court, 1-2-2 half court zone. So there's your answer. We don't have anybody can guard Julian Smith right now, so we're going to go 1-2-2 zone and see what they do.
Wherever Smith may go, that's where the defender will try to be for the Red Devils.
Yeah.
Here's Para. They're forcing him to stay outside.
It's an interesting zone. It's a 2-3. High post was open there because Jeremy Rose dropped to the baseline, making it look like it was a 2-3.
Teschendorf held on to it.
Mount Vernon has no idea right now how to attack it.
Difficult test. Fitzgerald on the inside. Teschendorf kicks it down low, stepped out of bounds.
No, he's going to call blocking foul on Singleton.
So Singleton picks up his second.
Boy, I thought Singleton did a pretty good job. He didn't get his foot on the baseline. For younger players watching, if you're on the baseline, someone's driving at you, and you're that close, get that left foot or right foot, whichever one's on the baseline side, out of bounds, and then you usually draw the charge, if anything, or the player dribbles out of bounds.
This Mount Vernon team.
You know, the thing about Joe Bradford teams, they're not going to take bad shots. They're going to be patient. He's taught them that, even though they're young. They're not going to take a bad shot. That's a good wide open 3.
Got to make those.
Yeah, they're
shooting off the mark.
Shooting less than 40% for the game now. So they're not shooting the ball well right now. Scooter drew a foul. Scooter Stewart.
Singleton went all the way down wide. Scooter Stewart put up the easy bucket. But Brady Fitzgerald was there to commit the foul and make sure that didn't go in. It's his team first of the quarter, as that 2-jersey Scooter Stewart takes a trip to the line.
So you look at these 5 Red Devils on the floor, and you look at pretty much every Red Devil on the floor, and then you look at my man Scooter. He is one thin guy, but he can shoot free throws. He did a good job that time. But from that standpoint, Jeffersonville has a good-looking physical group, and then there's Scooter.
I think he's doing great.
He did super. He just drew a foul on him as soon as he got in the game. Did a nice job in the matchup zone.
It's a role-playing guy right there. The 2-jersey making him pay from the charity stripe. 2 for 2 from that line. 5 minutes to go.
They're going to stay in the 1-2-2 zone. And again, Rose is going to drop into that center spot from time to time to make it look like it's a 2-3.
31-23, under 5 to go. Really tough defense there from Singleton. Chessendorf can't get it going. Back on the outside, Smith off glass, no. A quick transition from Cooper to Singleton. Eventually, Scooter. It's got the wheels.
Weak side board now. You know, you can be skinny as a rail, and if you're not blocked out, you're the best offensive rebounder on the floor if you're on that weak side. And another timeout called by Coach Bradburn. Just, they're really struggling trying to attack this matchup zone, JD.
And that was a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. 33-23. Jeffersonville expands their lead to 10. We'll be right back on the ISC Sports Network. We are back here at Memorial Gymnasium, 4:26 left in this third period of play. It is the second semifinal game. These teams competing for a spot in the championship, which will be tonight at Kokomo against Kokomo. It looks like it'll be Jeffersonville for now, as you see the New Haven faithful starting to pack the gym, and the coaching staff there from New Haven. They'll play in the 7th place game right after this one concludes against Plainfield.
Coach Stevens, good friend of mine there, drinking out of his water bottle, but hoping Bruce can get on the winning ways. Lost his first 2 games in this tournament. Going into this game tonight, will be 1-7. We had the big shoes to fill to replace Al Gooden, who is in the induction class of 2024, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Al was the coach at New Haven before coming down and coaching Kyle Guy and some great Davis boys over at Lawrence Central.
I hear that class of 24 in the Hall of Fame is pretty stacked, Pete.
Yeah, Dan Dawkins is going in there. You betcha.
And you.
I mean, no. There's
the three-pointer that Julian Smith has been searching for. His 4th made field goal, and it finally comes from beyond the arc.
He has a ball screen for him to get him a clean look. Jeffersonville has switched a little bit defensively. Singleton's got an open path.
Singleton can't get it done.
Only because he turned his shoulders. I think it just caught Teschender a little bit by surprise. He was there, but he had his shoulders turned. 2-shot foul for Singleton.
Teschendorf's first.
Teschendorf, I'm sorry. I said that wrong.
Team's second. Another look at it.
Yep, turned sideways. Didn't have his feet spread apart. Blocking foul.
And a tough call at the line as Trey Singleton puts up and misses the first. Checking in for the Red Devils is Sean Boyd, who replaces Jeremy Rose.
It's only the 3rd free throw shot the entire ball game by Jeffersonville. Meanwhile, at the other side, Mount Vernon has only shot 3 also.
Singleton missed them both. 33-26, just under 4 to go here in this third frame. It was a back and forth affair in the first half. It's been all Red Devils in this third quarter. Mount Vernon has only scored 3 points since halftime.
They're going to try to set a ball screen at the top for Julian Smith, because otherwise their matchups, they just feel like they can't attack the thicker Red Devils defensively. As you can see, Wells tries and got it that time. He got a little bit of confidence, and Singleton backed off just enough that Ronnie could knock it in there, his 5th point of the contest. Well, Singleton's got him posted. They're going to call a hold. Singleton had him on the left side, and a good job by the Red Devils on the reversal. Drew the holding foul.
Foul goes against Brady Fitzgerald, number 3 for him. Team 3rd of the quarter. Michael Cooper to throw in for the Red Devils. Up top, almost out of the reach of P.J. Douglas, who takes it for himself. The floater is good. P.J. Douglas using that 6'4" frame to bully his way down low.
Yeah, the strength advantage really playing into the hands of Jeffersonville here this third quarter particularly. And the zone's done a really nice job of negating Mount Vernon getting any kind of good look so far. It's a moving screen right there. Yep, they're going to call a moving screen on Brady Fitzgerald. He stuck the leg out. I know he's looking at Coach Bradburn and question it, but he stuck the leg out and was moving at the same time, and his ball handler was coming at him. So moving screen call.
That's his fourth.
Yep.
So he's going to have to take a walk to the bench. Replacing him in the lineup is Tyler Davis. Wears 32. Davis, a 6'5 junior who wears 32.
Got some great hops on him. I watched him warm up. Was way above the rim on some of his layup attempts and or illegal dunks. So the referees come out.
PJ Douglas, Michael Cooper. Cooper almost steps out of bounds. Instead, they swing it wide to Jeremy Rose. Rose back to Douglas, and this slow tempo, methodical offense is what we saw for much of the first half from Jeffersonville.
Boy, Singleton's working really hard to post up inside, and that cleared the lane right there.
PJ
and gave Douglas, the chance to score his 10th point.
They've all been in the form of 2-point baskets.
Pretty much all been on drives here in the second half. Get 1-2-2. They moved Rose back into the contest for Scooter.
9-point lead as the long three from Elijah Pera is short. Would have been a momentum shifter had it gone in.
Oh, they need a basket here desperately when they get the ball back.
Jeremy Rose blocked away. Great defense from Julian Smith, who, by the way, has moved a lot quicker across the half-court line in this second half. 90 seconds to go.
Just a straight 2-3 this time by the Red Devils. Don't see them matching up too high. They left that high post open.
Pera signaling Smith. Try for the screen. Pera for himself. That catch and shoot can't be easy, but it certainly looked effortless.
Well, the two guys trying to score more than anybody else is Julian Smith and Elijah Pera, and they are the two leading scorers for him today.
Under the rim, Sean Boyd had it for a second, gives it up to his own guy, PJ Douglas.
Second chance points, Jeffersonville winning that contest.
Trying again after that first initial shot. Give your guys a boost of confidence. Smith.
Wells. Oh, he got fouled on a three. Jeremy Rose, as soon as he came down, the defensive player took the space that he's allowed to come down in. And he's going to have a three-shot foul now, and a chance here to cut the lead to 6 if he can knock them all three down.
Rose is first. Here's another look at it. You saw the swing pass over from Julian Smith, and then just wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, it was right foot was in his landing space, and the player's allowed to come down to the spot he takes off from. Wells cannot convert, though, on his first free throw attempt. He's got who's he got waiting to check in here?
Aiden Daughtry.
Yeah, who's done a good job defensively, his minutes in the contest.
Also checking in will be Ray Laird for Jeffersonville. Out is Tyler Davis for the Marauders, and Trey Singleton takes a trip to the bench.
Yeah, 40 seconds left. Give him a quick break. Put him back in the start of the fourth quarter.
I don't realize how tall Singleton is until you see him standing next to head coach Sharon Wilkerson. He's got a few inches on his coach.
Yeah, he does. I like how Ramani Wells did a good job taking his time and knocking down that second and third free throw.
30 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Jeffersonville leads by 12. Leads by 10, excuse me.
Michael Cooper now with 8. Good open three-point shot there. Did a great job of squaring the defense up, and Mount Vernon gave him the open shot.
Smith looking for any lane he can.
Well, not against the zone. There's no driving lanes. Jeffersonville moving really well.
Long three. Pera rolls off the back of the backboard. Didn't get stuck this time. Earlier today, if you've been watching all day, it got stuck like a minute and a half into the Kokomo game.
Full court pressure with 5 seconds to go.
They're going quick. They want 2 points.
Got it. Nope, missed it.
Tipped up, and Teschendorf will try to heave. This won't count if it goes in, but it'd be cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't go. 42-32, Jeffersonville. Up 10 at the end of the third period of play. Just 8 minutes separates one of these teams from a date with Kokomo later tonight. We'll see how it all plays out on the other side of this break. You're watching the ISC Sports Network, and we'll be right back.
Got fouled, got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights.
back on the ISC Sports Network. Hello there at Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana. It is game number 8, game number 2 of the day, the second semifinal game, and we have reached the fourth quarter of play. Jeffersonville, as you see in that huddle, leading by 10 points, 42-32. Head coach Sharon Wilkerson has his guys playing a slow tempo game. And coach, if they keep it up, they're going to meet up with a very fast-paced Kokomo later tonight.
Well, you're giving Jeffersonville credit for playing a slow-paced game. Part of it's Mount Vernon is playing a slow-paced game because Jeffersonville's defense has been really solid. That third quarter, Mount Vernon made 3 of 9 shots from the field and really didn't have very many clean looks. 2 of them they made were like contested.
Nine seconds tick off the clock early. A fast tempo.
Excellent
Michael
transition.
Cooper.
Yeah. Excellent job. 2 reversals, got the backdoor Cooper on the baseline, and Jeffersonville's going to stay in this 1-2-2 zone offense. And Mount Vernon, who doesn't score a lot of points anyway, you alluded to that, JD, at the start of the game, against this zone, it's been even more difficult. They're shooting for the game 38% from the field. And a couple of their shots been contested, maybe one step outside that line, deeper than they want to shoot. Nice cut, though, by Wells there.
Oh, just in and out. A little too much sauce on it. Head down the other end, a wide open 3. That one's off the mark.
But you see, that's the transition Jeffersonville likes to play normally. They've done a good job playing Mount Vernon's style. I thought if Mount Vernon controlled the tempo, it would play into their favor, but Jeffersonville's half-court defense has been very good.
Jeffersonville also making it count on offense, shooting at a 54% clip. Travel as he leaned back. And so coming in is Trey Singleton, 8 points, 5 rebounds on the day.
Charlie Cross coming back in, or not coming back in. First minutes of the game, I can remember Charlie being there, isn't it? Not sure he's played yet.
His first moments of the game, the 4 jersey, Charlie Cross, as the lead stretches to 12 for the Red Devils. Teschendorf over there to Smith, who cashes in. They've been trying to get that one going for a long time.
Well, again, had 25 yesterday, only got 12 so far today.
Trey Singleton, good off glass. Takes it to the cup with a strong right hand. And that 0 jersey making his presence known in this fourth quarter.
He's in double digits now with 10. Second Red Devil after P.J. Douglas to be in double figures.
Douglas leads all scorers with 12, by the way.
Kind of got bailed out a little bit there. It was a foul. I'm not disagreeing with the official, but Julian was trying to seek a basket there. He was going in between 3 guys trying to get that shot up. And again, just it's been hard working to try to get good shots for the Marauders.
That was that was Michael Cooper's 3rd foul. The first of the quarter for Jeffersonville. A big 3 from Julian Smith.
He's having to step outside even maybe his comfort zone to get good shots off.
His 3rd 3 of the game. Smith 9 points from beyond the arc. That's pretty good. Jeremy Rose slowing it down, calling for a double dribble.
Well, it was a muff. It wasn't an actual dribble in the eyes of the official. There's a blocking foul. There's been a lot of contact coming up in this fourth quarter. Aiden Doherty gets the foul. He's done a good job. He's drawn 2 charges today, if I recall. I remember 1 for sure, but that time he gets a blocking foul.
Doherty, his first, team first.
Timeout by Coach Wilkerson.
And it will be a full timeout, so we'll take it with him. 46-38, 5.5 minutes to go here at Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana. We'll be right back on ISC.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X,
Isn't it
podcast,
X
whatever it is. Just call it whatever you
Twitter
want.
doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Turn to experienced lawyers for help at Galitco and Daly PC. Their passionate goal is to bring the power of the law to meet the needs of the injured and those who have suffered medical harm. Learn more at indianaworkers.com and indymalpractice.com. 5 minutes and 39 seconds left. Jeffersonville leading Mount Vernon 46-38. And this is the second semifinal game, game number 8 of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Coming up next on ISC, of course, games 9 and 10, and you start to get into the place game. So next up is the 7th place game between New Haven and Plainfield. Then after that, it'll be the 5th place game between Warren Central and Mishawaka.
Mount Vernon's at the point right now, JD, where they've got to start making some double teams at the top. You know, I know they're only down 8, but they've got to start doing something, mixing them up, because Jeffersonville's been really fluent on offense, and they're shooting 55% for the game.
Up in Trey Singleton, rises up. Now, it begs the question, Pete, he's so good at doing that. Why is it some of the first points, easy points in the paint we've seen from Singleton?
Well, Mount Vernon started in a zone to negate that. And then when they got behind, they had to play some man-to-man. But, yeah, he's getting the ball in the wing, no double teams.
That helps him out. The missed 3 from Armani Wells. Second chance bucket doesn't go either.
And Julian Smith trying to draw a foul there as he went up to the basket, the 6-foot sophomore. He's doing everything he can offensively. He's really trying to hunt his shot a little bit because he's their best scorer.
Under 5 to go.
So here comes, to what I alluded to, here comes the full court pressure now by Mount Vernon. And again, Charlie Cross stays in the game. He's a 5'9" junior that kind of like is a spark plug off the bench for Mount Vernon in situations like that.
P.J. Douglas, who's got 12, tied for the lead of all scorers, will be the one to inbound. Douglas.
There's the double team.
Trapped.
Ooh,
gets
close.
out of it. No travel called. Using the official as a screen almost. Trey Singleton now trapped in the corner.
Trying to speed up the Red Devils to take a bad shot or force a turnover. They break the press. That took about 15 seconds off the clock.
Still a 10-point lead after a minute has gone away since that last timeout. The trap just not working.
Yeah, nice pass.
Down under, Michael Cooper for 2.
Textbook play. When you get a trap, you want 3 people coming to the ball and someone stays at the basket. The third person that was open that time was the middle. Got it to him.
Yeah, as you see it in the replay there, the jump step and in, making it look easy now, breaking 50 points to Mount Vernon's 38. It's kind of like the last-ditch effort for this Marauder team. Pete, what do you even say as far as trying to get something going? Because 12 points is a lot, but it's certainly not impossible in these latter minutes of this game.
You know, in that situation, I thought it was really close to 2 turnovers on that possession. And neither one happened, and they got the open layup. So you just got to keep trapping the ball as much as you can, keep your arms out, being active, and at the other end, you've got to be efficient to score. Bottom line is you've only got 38 points, and you can't beat a Jeffersonville team with anything less than 50, quite frankly. Jeffersonville, very high-octane offense. Today, they've been slowed down. So if Mount Vernon has won one aspect of the game today, it's been the pace of play. But Jeffersonville's converted that into, okay, we're going to play a 1-2-2 matchup. I think we can do a pretty good job of that, which they have. And it's really caused Mount Vernon to struggle scoring points. Mount Vernon still only has 4 players who have scored in this contest. Julian Smith doing the workhorse in regards to that. And they're going to stay in the 1-2-2 now as Mount Vernon will attack it.
Brady Fitzgerald joining the lineup for the Marauders yet again. One of the starters usually for this squad. Vernon's had some quality wins in this season as they turn heads with their young roster. Foul is on the 5 jersey, Michael Cooper, number 4 for him. Mount Vernon's beat Southport, Pendleton Heights, Shelbyville, Newcastle, and most recently Plainfield yesterday. Their only losses were to LC and Fishers, who are both ranked.
Well, Fishers number 1 in the state. They haven't had a, they're going to get up into some good competition here in January and February. So this is a good learning experience for them. If they can come back in these last 4 minutes, what a feather in their cap. But they knew they were going to be struggling just a little bit with Luke Ertl, their standout guard, the 6'2 sophomore, out until the end of January. Today they've run into a team that's played a really good 1-2-2 zone. They're shooting 35% right now from the field as we hit in the last 4 minutes. And they're going to come with a lot of full court pressure, JD. Sorry, they're going to come with a lot of full court pressure here. They'll play some young kids if they get in some foul trouble, but they need to steals and fouls, one or the other.
They'll just try to shut it down, and Jeffersonville just wants to put the exclamation point, get a few insurance points, if you will. Charlie Cross, by the way, just came out for Elijah Pera in that most recent exchange. So the 10 jersey joins the Marauder lineup yet again. Cross putting it right in the number of Jeremy Rice. Rice tried to go to a wide open Sean Boyd. Instead, P.J. Douglas will clean up the mess. Good off glass.
I really like how Singleton came to the ball when his teammate got trapped. Almost a steal. He picked up the loose ball and turned and faced the basket. That's part of the problem when you get in late game situations. Players don't face the basket. You still got to face the basket even when you're trying to hold the ball and be patient.
Those are some of the things you can't track on a stat sheet. Really good to have him in the lineup, even with a 12-point lead with just a mere 3 minutes to go. Pera.
Holy
all
cow.
the way out. How did that happen? Wow.
Great
what
left
a basket.
hand. Yeah, great left hand by Elijah Pera.
Certainly not giving up or giving in.
1-2-2 full court. They should get a trap here at the 10 second. They don't. They're falling back into man. Thought they're going to go trap the ball. Now they are. Now they get the deflection.
They got the ball from Elijah Cheeks, who tried to toss it off to Jeremy Rose. Rose eventually ends up with it. Around that right side, no room in the trap. And now Singleton.
Oh, use the backboard, Trey. Use the backboard. Oh.
Well, Pete, it's a holiday weekend. Bank's not open. So had no choice there. Instead draws the foul.
Yeah.
It'll go against Elijah Pera, his second. Team second.
You know, that's the first thing I can truly fault Trey Singleton for here. Right here. Good angle to use the backboard. Tries to go over the rim, short arms it. And there's the foul there on Pera on the shot.
You see Sean Boyd checks back in. He makes the second one.
Yeah, better on those. He missed his first 2 opportunities in the contest.
Good practice for later in the season. One-handed Julian Smith. Off balance, one hand doesn't matter. He tickles nylon.
He is got a bright, bright future. Very strong player, and Singleton all the way to the rim, drew the foul on the drive by Brady Fitzgerald. You know, if there's a guy, if you're watching, you're kind of a statewide guy. We had a couple years ago, Jalen Jackson, a great player at Carroll High School, Fort Wayne. Right now, I think Julian Smith has a lot of his attributes. That is the 5th foul on Brady Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald will sit down. 21 jersey for Mount Vernon, a 6'4" senior, the only senior, by the way, on this varsity.
The only senior, yeah.
Lineup.
The only senior. So, you know, young kids are going to have games like this where they just can't make shots. And part of the reason is the shots have been difficult. Jeffersonville has really done a nice job in this zone. They've covered areas well. I really like how Jeremy Rose talks on the defensive end. Singleton takes up a lot of space, so he goes 0 for 2 this appearance at the line.
10 points, still the lead with 2 minutes to go.
Oh, good job by Smith. Initiated the contact. You know, a situation like this, notice how hesitant Jeremy Rose is to battle him, because you're also hearing in the back of your head, don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. So when you play tentative and the offense causes that initial foul, or initial contact, I should say, that's how fouls build up at the end of a game. You think, don't foul him. Well, we're not going to give him a layup, right? No, but just don't foul him. Well, that's easier said than done. For 2 hours of my practice, I'm telling kids when I'm a coach, guard the ball, don't let him score. Well, now you're saying, okay, don't foul him. And you play hesitant, and you get fouls called on you like that. So
and
Smith
that cuts
makes
the
them
lead.
pay, yeah.
Yeah, that cuts the lead to 8, and it's definitely a commanding lead. Oh!
Yep.
Travel.
I didn't mean to sound like
No.
Linda Ronstadt.
No,
Ooh,
no.
baby, baby, but I saw him jump up and down, and I knew a referee was not going to miss that one.
So Mount Vernon will take over under their own basket. Kick it out wide.
only a 2-possession game. No, 3-possession game, but this could cut it to 2.
Smith up for 2, no good.
Deflected, yeah.
Yeah, Daughtry kind of ran it out of bounds there. Tried to go to Riker Bear. Bear will be the one to throw in. Make that Teschendorf. Teschendorf has to go over Boyd.
Got to go. There you go.
Nearly a violation. Hey, just try the 3. Why not? This time it doesn't go, but there to clean up the mess is Daughtry. Not sure what the call is here, Pete. 90 seconds to go.
I got Julian Smith on a hold or on the inbounds there.
That is the case. It'll be his first. Only 6 points separate these two teams.
Good look. Looked over the
it's
top
still
there.
a 2-possession game with 1:20 to go. Unable to get there was
Good
Trey
job.
Singleton.
Yeah, good job by Singleton getting the ball back into play.
Still a 2-possession game. Boyd back over to Singleton,
Off of
loses
Singleton's
control,
leg.
out of bounds. Marauders get it back, and there's a pulse.
There's a pulse because Jeffersonville's not finishing this game off as well as they'd like to.
1 minute to go.
Para.
Inside here is Para. Now it's only a 4-point game. 1 minute to go. Jeffersonville needs a bucket here. They'll try it. Cooper tried it himself. Singleton tried on the rebound. And they'll say it was deflected out of bounds by Mount Vernon. And yeah, a timeout called as head coach Sharon Wilkerson wants a second to talk to his team. Where did this comeback come from? Pete, it felt like it was over. And then all the way back comes Mount Vernon, clawing tooth and nail to get back into this thing.
2 empty possessions at the free throw line that both times Singleton missed 2 free throws in a row. Mount Vernon came down and scored 2 points or even a 3-point on one of them. They've just not been able to finish the game off, which means make free throws when you're fouled, make layups. You know, they're going to be in the bonus now, so the penalty, so they'll be shooting 2 free throws every time they're fouled here in these last 54.8 seconds. They have 1 foul to get before Mount Vernon would shoot the 2-shot foul, so you got to consider when you're going to use that. But this is a big possession on the out of bounds here. Jeffersonville will get it. If Mount Vernon doesn't steal the inbounds, they will foul, and Jeffersonville's got to make their free throws. Or I tell you, Mount Vernon's feeding off the ineptness of Jeffersonville to finish this game off.
It is most likely a 2-possession ball game or a foul on a 3-pointer that goes in. Mount Vernon still has not just a puncher's chance, but a pretty good chance of a comeback.
Bulldoze out of bounds play. All 4 guys are going to run to the ball. Okay, Singleton faked out and came back. 3 of the guys went to the ball, and they're going to foul Singleton, I would think, pretty quick here. There's the foul.
Here it comes.
I know he's saying I didn't foul, but that's
not
exactly.
Dougherty.
He's selling it that it wasn't intentional, obviously. So, Mr. Trey Singleton is having a super game, but he's missed 4 of his last 6 free throws.
6'8" junior captain at the line. 50 seconds to go. Got to make these, and he does. A little bit of insurance basketball here. That was the second foul on Dougherty, by the way. I think I said that wrong earlier. Dougherty made them both. 5. Of course, the double bonus in effect, so it'll be 2 foul shots for each violation, which works in the favor of Jeffersonville. Teschendorf from the outside. Great rebound by Singleton.
Get rid of it.
Full court defense, yes, and he's able to do that.
Got to get a foul. Got to trap the ball and see if he can get a steal. Now you got a foul.
Jeremy Rose,
yeah,
they're just keep away at this point. Kicked, not a foul. 24.7 on the clock, 6 points separation, still a 2-possession game.
Going to move it down to the baseline for the inbounds here.
Sean Boyd to throw in. That bulldoze play in effect again.
Throw out to Singleton up the
Singleton's
top.
pretty open.
Yeah, could have.
Jeremy Rose was more open though. He's trapped as well, looking for the foul. They get it under the basket. period, exclamation point, P.J. Douglas.
He has been so efficient today. P.J. Douglas shot the ball really, really well.
Mount Vernon down the other end, laying in the easy two, Elijah Pera. Staying in it, 58-52. 2 seconds on the clock, foul with .5.
P.J. Douglas, 8 for 9 from the field today. Just a super game for him.
So that foul goes against the Red Devils.
Yeah, they had one to give, as I mentioned during that timeout.
And that'll do it. 58-52. Jeffersonville will meet Kokomo in the final round of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. That game comes your way later tonight at 7:45. But Pete, what did you like from these Red Devils that's going to propel them to do well against Kokomo?
Well, they shot the ball really efficient. They shot over 50% for the game. Their shot selection was really good, sometimes a little bit too unselfish, and passed up some shots early that I was a little critical of them. But their 1-2-2 zone defense really took Mount Vernon out of their game, and Mount Vernon's not a high-scoring offensive team anyway. But I liked how they played. They mixed up their presses very well. Congratulations, Coach Wilkerson. Now you get Flory Badunga and the Kokomo Wildcats. and when Flory's teammates play well, they are really, really good.
They have a little bit more than 5 hours to prepare for that one, but if you're watching on ISC, you only have 20 minutes to prepare for the next game. The 7th place game between New Haven and Plainfield is next in this one, the semifinal number 2, 58-52. Jeffersonville wins. Alongside Pete Smith, I'm JD Arlen. Thanks for tuning in to our broadcast.
Hey,
and
Merry
that
Christmas,
was a surprise
JD.
in the truck. Happy holidays to you and yours.
Whoa, whoa.
Now we're going, baby. Oh, my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Still going. Lock in. Takes it in. Little energy. Little. Not the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. Still going. Throws it up, and Hooks will throw it down.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
You're here for the first game of the season. So did you see